March 13th, 4:27 p.m., Gatewaterland main gate. With our collective of characters, including an old man with too much money who just used evidence from the case to purchase the entire haunted house where we're fairly certain we'll find the evidence needed to convict Lance. If I can't get permission to investigate the crime scene, then the truth will be lost. Hold it. Ooh, well, I guess Lance isn't the only person who brings his own wind. Okay. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing spacing out? Have you forgotten? There's only one thing you should do at a time like this. Steal the spotlight? And what is that? When the people are in a bind, the hero of justice appears to save the day. Please don't say that. We have a number of people in Badger costumes around here. Any one of them might show up, and I'd prefer that none of them do. Look, just leave it to me. For I am Kay Faraday, the second of the great Yatagarasu. I thought you were a thief, not a hero. The Yatagarasu is noble and is always a thief of justice. That, of course. If we have enough information, I can recreate the inside of the haunted house with this. Plus, if we then factor in everyone's testimony... Right, back to our magical bullshit tech. Haven't been able to catch up with the last two VODs, so look forward to being thoroughly confused by whatever the plot of this case is. Yep, it'll be about that then. Well, maybe able to figure out some new information through this. It's worth a try. Agent Lang. Ah, so you want to use your little toy? Be my guest. Okay, hang on. You're all about to witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Detective Gumshoe, is there a copy of the haunted house's blueprint among the police's reference documents?
Ah, yes, sir. We just got it in case we need it for the kidnapping case. Ah, how convenient.
Alright, so I'll input the haunted house data then. Wow, I thought it was Magitech bullshit before, but, that's... How long until Gumshoe walks into the fountain accidentally? Since he can no longer see it. What is this? Where are we? Yeah, it's the holodeck now. It's like we're in... Oh, wrong person, that's Lance. It's like we're inside the haunted house. Even if we can't inspect the real location itself, the path to the truth slumbers here. If I can successfully navigate my way using logic, I'll ultimately arrive at the truth, and we have to assume that this recreation is actually accurate. Magic. Now then, I believe I'm ready to investigate the crime scene. Okay, what should I recreate first? You haven't figured it out yet? Maybe I have, and maybe I haven't. But I'm gonna make you do all the hard work. Very well. I'd like to inspect the moment in which I was ambushed by my abductor. I'm curious how we're going to have sufficient information to put this together, since I was assaulted from behind and immediately knocked out, and therefore there is no real information about how any of that actually happened. But magically, we're going to have it anyways. The two of them were definitely in this place at that time. If I can verify that, it may provide me with new lead. I had just come out into the hallway after leaving the money inside the dining room. At that time, I saw a badger slumped over on the floor at the end of the hall. What was the badger doing all the way down there? And why did I take my eyes off it, being clearly suspicious and creepy? I also thought it strange, which is why I turned around and looked the other way entirely and ignored it. However, I thought that maybe it was simply a mannequin that was set there for atmosphere. Do you know which badger it was? No, it was too dark to tell. All I saw was its silhouette. In that case, I guess I'll just program a badger silhouette in for now. Okay, programming complete, because that's how programming works. Woo! Hollywood hacking! Bar is filled, job's done. Then I started walking towards the exit.
And that's when you're struck from behind, right?
Yes.
But that's odd. The hallway's a dead end. Where did your assailant come from?
There's only one location I can think of. I believe my assailant was lying in wait here.
I mean, it was a badger. I mean, at least they showed it creeping up on us, so unless they just lied to us from the outset, which is possible.
Take that!
That doll I saw wasn't really a doll, it was in fact a costume kidnapper. Cabinet Badger, son of a bitch!
Oh, so he used the costume as the perfect camouflage to blend in with the rest of the house.
Precisely. He waited until I had made the drop-off and was about to leave. Then, just as he saw me take a step towards the exit, he stood and launched his attack. Very slowly, racing down the hall, and I didn't hear him coming. I can think of no better hiding place than this.
Hey, not bad. I'm beginning to think I should steal this tactic for myself.
Just don't use it to do anything criminal, okay?
Oh god, it's jittering so much as it walks.
Well, Lance? What are you asking me for? I don't have any idea. But I do see that Mr. Pounds TV is currently rating us. Welcome on in to Ace Attorney Investigations. As one of the kidnappers, I figured I should give you the chance to confess first. I was one of the kidnappers, but I don't know anything. I did come up to the haunted house, but I never set foot inside. I left Oliver in charge of picking up the ransom money. He didn't set foot inside? Is he telling the truth, or is this another lie? Alright, then you're claiming that it was Mr. Deacon who assaulted me? Yes, I'm sure it was him.
Okay, inputting the new info now. Mr. Deacon was the Bad Badger, right? Since the Bad Badger has a gun attached to his right hand, I'll have to change it so the weapon is in its left hand. Welcome to the magic. You know, the silhouette was less creepy.
Now to verify the facts of this recreation.
Hey Kay, how about you just insert some, I don't know, just put Lance there with no outfit on whatsoever just to prove, like, oh look guys, Lance was here. Proven. We're done. Case closed.
You didn't recreate the weapon.
Good God, what a visual. Well, I can't exactly recreate something I know nothing about. Like, the crime scene? So tell me, what were you hit with?
The attack came from behind, so I have no idea.
Red glowing dildo bat. Oh goody, it's Saints Row all over again.
But I doubt it was someone's bare hands.
Okay, then where were you hit?
I was hit on the right side of my head, just above my temple.
You don't say.
There was a bit of blood, but it wasn't anything serious.
Good old untextured cylinder. We were assaulted by a new artist. One of our artist interns, clearly. Ouch, sounds painful.
Why are you smirking like that when you say it?
It's just your imagination. So, now, like, let's see. I wonder if there's anything in the hallway that could be used as a weapon. Well, I mean, there's a sword pretty clearly there. I'm looking for something the culprit could have used to hit you with.
And then brought the sword with.
Used it again later. Also, left-handed blow to the back of the head is not likely to come down the right-hand side. Not unless you're doing a weird kind of crossways swing, which is very awkward.
Take that!
I have it. There was indeed one such object lying here in this hallway. A prop sword.
Are you talking about this thing here?
Yes, although we did find it at the kidnapper's hideout. Wait, yes, it's possible the culprit took it with him after using it on me.
To leave no evidence behind, right?
Correct. It may be worth a more thorough examination yet.
Oh, well, time to look for my blood, maybe. Okay, so what test do you want to run on the sword? Test it with luminol! I love luminol.
The culprit was wearing a costume at the time, so fingerprint analysis is useless. Let's run a luminol test. It's possible that some of my blood found its way onto this.
I'm just so happy when there's actual science anywhere in here. Luminol!
Agent Lang, may I ask for your cooperation in this matter?
Like I have a choice. Sheena, call the lab boys.
Understood. Except for a dab on the left side, it would appear that the blade is spotless.
So it must have been the left side of the prop sword that hit you then, right? Left. What? Alright, culprit hit me in the right temple area with this broken prop sword. Okay, I'll update the recreation with this new piece of info.
Well, blood is on the left-hand side of the sword, then, yeah, it really doesn't work. I won't rest until I've searched
All the things. Checking what's up.
How are they using luminol holographic sword?
Okay, no. I'll give them this one. The sword is not holographic. That there is yes. We have been carrying around a prop sword as evidence with us. So we do actually have the sword. Did I get got by the badger? At the start of this case, yes. And now we're trying to prove which badger murdered people. Well, person. Oh, we got deduce as an option, but let's poke around. Look at me first.
It's me! I have to say, it's rather embarrassing to see myself like this.
Oh, so what were you thinking about at the time?
I don't recall, but I would guess that I was thinking about the kidnapping.
Really? Because I don't think so at all. Your face practically screams, I'm about to get conked over the head.
If I had known that at the time, do you think I would have let myself be hit?
Well, I mean, some people are like that, so, you know, you never know. You know, the bad badger's pretty bad looking when you see him up close.
Well, what did you expect from a character named the Bad Badger?
And those sunglasses, wearing them in the dark makes him seem extra bad.
Now I'm lost. Which meaning of bad does she really mean?
Murder time, fun time! Yeah, Professor Genki's the best. Struggling with a new printer because I've never printed art before. Oh, God, that is a whole other thing. Printing art. Your colors need to be CMYK and not RGB because those colors don't really exist in the actual world, not the same way. Resolution tends to have to be a lot higher than anything you'd use for a monitor, because otherwise you print super small on paper. Good luck. Now I want to play Saints Row 3 again. It was so good. I liked it more than 4. And the next instant, this badger will swing his left arm, complete with weapon in hand.
Yes, to club me with the left side of the prop sword. That's gonna be a real awkward swing if you want to do it with the left side. That ain't working.
Shall I recreate the moment of impact? I want to see the pained expression on your face.
It's just fine the way it is. Wait, maybe not. Is it just my imagination, or is something not quite right?
Alright, so I should be able to use the info on the sword. I'm fairly certain to be our argument here. Because everything about that is kind of wrong. I didn't mind the goofiness in Saints Row 4. My issue is that Saints Row 3, playing co-op, it was still really fun to travel places together. You know, getting in 2 cars and racing each other, getting in a car and causing chaos while your partner drives your ass around as you hurl grenades in front of the car, trying to get them to go off as you go over them. But Saints Row 4, because you had the travel powers, it was just like, we'll meet up at location. You didn't really do anything together on the way anymore. Alright, let's fork over the sword, because the location of the blood, the temple that's supposed to be hit, all this stuff does not line up.
Eureka!
Finally, I found a clear contradiction of facts about this sword. Except for a bit on the left side, this prop sword is absolutely spotless. However, the culprit had used his left hand, the blood would be on the opposite side.
The opposite side? What?
If the culprit held the sword in his left hand, then the sword's right side would hit.
I see, but the blow is on the left side of the sword, right? Which means that he used his right hand to hit you.
Exactly. This prop sword has a large handguard attached to the hilt. It would be impossible to hold it with two hands while wearing a costume with such big hands. Therefore, if it couldn't be the left hand or both hands, it must have been the right.
What's up, Ningwam? Hey, Phonic, how's it going tonight? Work in the morning? Gotcha. I'll change the data to reflect a right-handed swing.
Not yet, Kay. There's no sense in changing anything yet. If you change the parameters to the right hand, it'd only create a new contradiction. Changing the prop sword to be in the culprit's right hand would conflict with what? The fact that there's a gun in his hand? Do we have to... Well, that's specifically the gun. So I think we have to go with the... I think we have to use this. Because this is the only thing that specifically calls out that he has the gun in the hand. Because the only other stuff we have in relation to it is the gun being ripped off the hand and powder burns. So I think we want to specifically point out, like, yeah, he has a gun in his hand, so it doesn't work.
Take that!
The Bad Badger already holds a gun in his right hand, so he can't hold a sword in addition.
Hey, Reb. Always be a surprise for you to open the stream and see Babyface CLZ. I know, right? At least until the end of this month, and then it's all coming back. So there's a tiny bit seen over the top of one of my things, just like, there we go, fix that. Badger with a gun! Hey, that's right, then what now? If it wasn't in his left hand or his right hand...
It means that the one who struck me could not have been the Bad Badger. Are you paying attention, Lance? That's what I thought.
Babyface CLZ sounds like the Mafia crime version. Yes, back when I was inducted into the Audio Mafia.
Mr. Deacon could not have been the one who struck me. Which leaves only you as our primary suspect.
Oh, good, there we go.
Fine, it was me. I hit you. It appears you lied to me yet again, but see how quickly they catch up to you, Lance.
Wait, isn't Lance left-handed?
Ah, yes, but that's what makes this deception all the more interesting. He used his right hand to make it look like Mr. Deacon had been the one to strike me. Where you see, firing a gun with one's non-dominant hand is difficult, but that level of dexterity isn't required to swing a prop sword. Okay, please input this new data. The one who hit me from behind was Lance, or should I say, the Proto-Badger.
You got it. Here I go. Yeah, did you miss yesterday, Nangwam? Because we basically solved who the three kidnappers were, the relation between all of them, and what we're currently working through is who actually killed one of the other kidnappers. Because right now it's basically a huge setup that points to Lauren. But it's not.
Now we have a faithful recreation of the situation around the attack on me. Playing B Rising with Brother, so I need to see the vlog.
Oh, there you go. I mean, the VOD's already up on YouTube. And I already went in and cut a chunk out of the middle where I had to have a long conversation about some stuff. I think I trimmed the intros and outro as well. Alright, all I have to do is examine this new recreation.
Not so fast!
Oh boy, here we go again.
And what exactly is so funny, Agent Lang?
That amusing little gadget that sure backs a punch, right, Sheena?
It was all I could do to hold the laughter in.
Hey, don't make fun of little thief, you mean old werewolf. He and Mr. Edgeworth bring out the best in each other. You've had your little fun, but now it's my turn. I've sat quietly by, listening. But the crude conclusions you two keep spewing don't whet this wolf's appetite. There's no guarantee that your toy will always show a real situation at any given time. All it displays is whatever information you put in there, right? Why, yes, Lang, that's true, which is part of 1, why I called this bullshit from the beginning, and 2, What do you care? You don't like evidence. Well, when you put it that way... Your suppositions are wrong. It's not your fault, so I'm going to let you in on this. There's a trick to this haunted house.
And what may that be exactly?
A trick beyond what your tiny imaginations can produce. Chin up.
Duh, here you are.
Now then, what you missed, girlie, is written right here in this pamphlet.
The 7 Wonders of the Haunted House. The Disappearing Badger?
What is this? I'd say that someone around here is fond of theatrics. And as you can see, they set a doll down at the end of the hallway for that purpose. Basically, the blue badger you saw was just a stupid doll. Okay, pamphlet has been updated.
How can this be?
Guess that throws your whole theory about it being your attacker right out the window.
Ah, hey Scarlet Fox, we did not get permission.
We're using magic. We're using Kay's little thief to recreate the haunted house based on the blueprints. And are rightly being called out on our crap for it.
Brings us up after Lance admits it.
I know, right? Like, Lance literally said, yes, I hit you. And he's like, well, I guess you can't prove it. So he doesn't like evidence. He doesn't like confessions, except when they suit him. He just doesn't like anything. But that can't be right. Maybe the culprit hid the doll somewhere. Yeah, he hates me. Yeah. And then he laid down and pretended to be it instead.
Knuckle fast!
If the criminal couldn't even hide himself in the hallway, how can he hide a giant doll? Do you get it now? Thanks to your presumptions. Your logic started off weak and led you to the completely wrong conclusion. Poor us. Yeah, we're not allowed to go into the haunted house because the father of the murderer used the ransom money to buy the goddamn place. And he's decided, no, we're not allowed in. Why is that guy Popo? Because he's a dick. Also, pecking order, bitch. Now get off your high horse. Enter Popo, yeah. Also true. Mr. Edgeworth.
Okay, I wonder if you could please input the new information for me.
You don't know when to quit, do you?
I can't quit not until I declare that I've found the truth. Agent Lang, for the additional information, you have my thanks.
I swear we should arrest the dad for obstruction of justice. I mean, the ransom money was basically evidence in the case at that point, and he took it, and he spent it, he gave it away, he fundamentally destroyed it by handing it off to somebody else. There you go again. Well, see if I care. Okay, I'm updating the recreation now. So they said it's the disappearing badger, which means there's got to be a way in and out. That looks really weird. Look at how it changes from the blue badger to the proto badger all of a sudden.
If the slumped-over badger was just a doll, where was my attacker hiding?
Well, that's what we're gonna find out, right? So come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go.
Yes, let's.
Prosecutors don't usually investigate crimes they're involved in anyways. Oh, I know. The very first case took place in our office. And I was like, well, I should be recusing myself immediately.
This recreation can't be right, which means there must be a contradiction somewhere.
Well, let's see what I actually have available then. I don't think they gave me they didn't give me the blueprints. Now, if I look at the updated thing, yeah, the disappearing badger, which means there's got to be a way for it to disappear. So there's an in and an out. When you take a look around, it almost feels more like a house of mirrors.
Indeed. Who has ever heard of this many mirrors inside of a haunted house before?
Well, at least we know this is the real crime scene thanks to these mirror shards. Like a mirror house haunted house hybrid. This place is full of mirrors. Wait, these shards. There's something different about them. Yeah, first case is in the office. Well, to be fair, in the case of the second one, we were only the prime suspect while we were actually on the plane, and there was no one else with legal authority really to stop us from doing what we did. Oh, the ones we found earlier are thicker than the shards in these mirrors on the wall. So, potentially not from the mirror, but all from the, I mean, there's broken glass right there beside us. And look, there's some sort of design on the back, too.
The pieces from the costume are certainly different from the other mirrors. What does this mean? Could it be that our pieces are not pieces of these mirrors?
Different from the mirrors on the walls, very thick, and a design on the back.
Miss Pops, by my hand, I will prove your innocence in the murder of Mr. Deacon. Therefore, please don't fret. It will soon be over. Do you not trust me?
That is... Your face is all beat red, Miss Pops. No, I can't. I have lens.
Lolly, don't tell me you like that guy more than me.
Well, to be fair, one of us is trying to throw you under the bus right now. It's... Oh, why am I so pathetic? I am so easily swayed by even single glance.
What exactly is she going on about?
Like every police procedural show is the forensics team on the field both getting clues and arresting people. Right?
Hey, Tokyo Red.
I think you have another guilty person on your hands, Mr. Edgeworth. Anything else I can interact with?
Pieces of a set of armor are in a pile here.
Why do you think they almost always have sets of armor inside haunted houses?
I suppose this sort of interior design is meant to bring out the sense of the abnormalcy.
Actually, it's nice because it raises questions. The unknown is basically a big part of what drives fear, right? When you have something like a suit of armor around, the fact is you've got something that is fundamentally humanoid and might have a person in or might not have a person in. You don't actually know. So by presenting people with the question of, is there a person in there? You can inject just a little bit of fear by virtue of not knowing something. Armor's great for that. It's very difficult to tell if someone's actually hanging out in it, depending on the design. Schrodinger's suit of armor, exactly. You won't know if the cat inside the armor is dead until you open it and take a look. Why do all your explanations have to be so hard to understand, Mr. Edgeworth? Try explaining it again, but this time so that even a thief like me can get it. Mannequins too? Yep.
That may prove to be a most difficult task.
You don't know if they're dead or not inside the armoire either. This is very true. Until we open it and find out there's a cabinet badger. Are you taking off, Kekkun? Have a good night. This is where the proto-badger shows up in our recreation.
Yes, now the question is, where did he come from?
Yeah, but there's no place to hide in our current model.
There must be an inconsistency somewhere. Someone give me those blueprints. That would be handy.
Alright, time to inspect a holograph that we've thrown in there with no real way to tell if there'd be anything useful about it whatsoever.
This blue badger is just a doll for our use in this haunted house.
I bet the one who killed this blue badger was the bad badger, right?
According to the Blue Badger Bible, it says that they are each other's worst enemy.
All because one's an ally of justice and the other's a vile criminal with a gun?
Perhaps they were just destined to battle each other. Much like the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate, or me and Phoenix Wright.
I can't look at anything to do with that. What have we got on Oh, actually, do I still have anything floating around in my head? Okay, just the mirror house shards. Okay. Alright, let's see if there's anything else to poke around out here quickly. I want to make sure I've checked all the things. I want to talk to you, you're a dick.
It's the proto-badger who struck me. I suppose I should really say that it's Lance who recently admitted to doing this.
Now, are you going to get him back?
I need not resort to violence when the lawsuit I plan to bring to court will suffice.
Really? Because, like, I would totally have decked him right back. If someone steals from me, I steal something from them. If I get hit, I hit them back.
Our little shadow boxer.
If I get paid, I return the money. That's the secret to how a great thief works.
There's a problem with that. Her third statement doesn't seem to be of much benefit to her survival. It's a replica of myself.
You were totally oblivious to what was behind you, huh?
Yes, I suppose I'm also to blame for what happened to me. It was incredibly dark, which was all the more reason I should have been more alert. I vow to never be caught by surprise again until the next case. So, have you noticed anything worthwhile?
They have no obligation to talk with you. Well, I'm fine with just Little Thief and solving this case. The toy is very well made. That's because it's the heart of the noble thief Yatagarasu.
Okay, that may not be something you want to advertise to everyone.
But I want to be famous, right?
So, Shayna, what exactly is the source of this extra-dimensional-like space?
I believe this is nothing more than protection from Girl's Toy.
So it's all an illusion, right?
Yes. Hey, don't treat this like some sort of silly light show.
Thanks for letting us use, Little Thief. Like she says, reject not those who seek the truth. So keep in mind that I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing this for the truth.
Very non-silly and very professional light show, yes.
Don't worry, I understand. We may have different methods, but our wish is the same. Except for the part where you apparently just want me done in.
Yeah, I can't believe what I'm seeing, sir. This space I'm standing in, it's like out of some crazy dream.
Except that this isn't a dream, this is something Kay's catch. Oh my god.
I just thought of something wonderful to do to Gumshoe. Instead of docking his salary next time, let's just break into his place while he's sleeping and have Kay run a simulation so he wakes up and has no idea he's awake, because it doesn't look like his room anymore.
Yeah, no way. This is exactly like a dream, sir. I've never been so impressed. It's a miracle.
Someone sure is easily impressed.
I'm so glad you like it.
Oh, so it's a product of your gadget. Oh, now I wish I had one too.
Well, once this is over, I'll let you play with it for a bit if you want.
Oh, you do that for me, pal? Thanks. All right, let's wrap this case up already.
No breakup, I know, right?
It's times like these that I wonder if they understand the seriousness of the situation.
Can actually examine the door at all. I don't think there's any... Oh, I haven't talked to him yet, and I probably should talk to them just in case.
You can lie all you want, but it will be for naught, Lance. As soon as I expose the truth, you'll be placed under arrest. How can you do this, after all that my dad has done for you? What your father has done for me is unrelated to the charges you face now. Unbelievable.
You know, you sound kind of like a bully right now, Mr. Edgeworth.
If I'm not serious about this, he will never understand the true gravity of his crimes. I will not allow him to remain a child forever.
Now you sound like a dad.
Whatever you say.
Have a good lurk, Nigwam.
Miles, my boy, what is the meaning of all this? Do you plan to pay me back for all I've done for you with the conviction of my son? I have not forgotten my debt to you. However, your son's crimes are a separate matter. further, I cannot ignore the truth when it's right before me. You'll regret this, I promise you that. No matter the outcome, I never regret the choices I make.
Alright, well, I think what we're going to do is throw the, I'm going to save because I haven't yet. Let's throw the disappearing part of the disappearing badger out and see if that pulls anything for us, because it is kind of an important part of the whole thing. I was hoping I might actually find the way in which it disappeared first, but I'm guessing this doesn't, like, go outside. I don't think there is... Yeah, I can't look at that itself. I don't think there's anything else I could look at on him. So let's talk, I hope, about the disappearing part of the badger. No, it's not. That's not contradiction at all. Nope, that's useless. Maybe it's just a trick of the eye? Well, I mean, we got all the mirrors. Actually, it's kind of interesting when we originally walked in here, like the very beginning of the case. I can't get a name of them. I noticed our reflection only showed up in certain mirrors, which I thought was interesting. Hey, Luna. He says that, but he never confessed to Phoenix. Man, Quatorius is on fire tonight. Oh, okay, cute, that's clever. Okay. So... double check that I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing. I am, okay. So... this... look at the angle that's running at. So that's how we use to prove that this is a mirror. The Bible clearly shows that it's running the opposite way. Cute. I like it.
Eureka!
Hold on a second here. There's something wrong with this blue badger. Though I don't know why she would have known. Well, I guess she did match it up to... I'm pretty sure she matched it up directly to the picture. Yeah. Like what? The way the belt is on him is opposite of how it should be. Did you make a mistake?
That can't be. I inputted the image data exactly as it is in the pamphlet. Should be funny, this entire hologram scenario is just to visualize the Mind Palace logic. It's a good thing we're not in court, because none of this would hold up. Blue Badger in the pamphlet is wearing his belt in the reverse direction. Why? There must be some sort of explanation. Well, I guess that's going to bring us back to the only two things we have to slap together in our head. The hybrid mirror house and reversed Blue Badger.
Hey, do you remember what you said earlier?
What I said earlier about what?
About how this building might as well have been a house of mirrors?
House of Mirrors? Oh, yeah. That would explain the reversed or mirror image. This is the Phoenix Wright universe. I would expect not only to stand in court, but also be a key testimony in the case. You're right. I should never forget the parrot, should I?
Yes, this blue badger might be nothing more than the reflected image of a real one.
Then was the blue badger you saw just a reflection?
When I looked down this hall, I thought it was perfectly straight. However, if there was a mirror...
Oh, that would actually form an L shape, right? Gee, something that you'd think would be visible if we were to, I don't know, look at the blueprints we supposedly built this off of. Unless you lied on the blueprints, which would be a very, very strange thing to do.
Precisely. I was deceived. The hallway was almost pitch black. And there was a beam in the way that obstructed my view of the other hallway.
Wait, but why build this place like that? It sounds pretty pointless to me.
Okay, this house is just another attraction at an amusement park. They created a mirror wall for a very specific purpose, one I can point out to you.
I assume... Are we going to point at the disappearing part of this now? Because that's really the only reason I can think that they would have done a mirror wall. I mean, it's there in big text for the disappearing badger. All you've got to do is move a bit and get out of the mirror.
Take that!
As it's written in the pamphlet, the main draw of this attraction is the mystery of the disappearing badger.
Whereas that they did it just to screw with you option right? You mean they built the mirror for that trick alone? You said you saw the badger, so it was definitely still there.
That was true at the time, however, doing this allows someone to make the blue badger disappear in a flash.
You just move it. I'm going to assume the mirror wall is too big to be moved. You move it out of its reflection.
All they would have to do is move the blue badger.
Hey, Urkel, how's it going? But do you think someone could really do that?
Well, it's a rather expensive prop, so perhaps it isn't possible.
Doesn't that kind of ruin the whole point to having the mirror in the first place? That seems a little silly. You could totally just move it. Well, I guess the other alternative then is that they've actually built the wall to be fairly easily moved. Yeah, it's going to say rotating wall. Right, Pyro? Which means it is actually something that's built to be moved, which would also explain someone else being there. Because you got to be behind it to move it in that case. Dimming the lamps does not seem like it would do anything.
To remove a reflected image, simply move the mirror.
Scooby-Doo. This is so Scooby-Doo. Oh, that's where they're going with the whole mirror wall is, that's a lot to move.
First, the mirror was constructed so that it could be moved. Then, beyond where the mirror was, an empty hallway had to be created.
Oh, so when they wanted people to see the blue badger, they would open the mirror. And when they wanted to hide it, they simply had to close it again.
This explains why the other side of the fragments have a design on them.
Oh, and if the pattern is the same as the other walls in the hallway...
Then, when the mirror is closed, it would blend in with the rest of the walls. This is the mirror trick that this haunted house employs. And this also proves the existence of a hiding place for the culprit.
Huh? How so?
Think about it. There was a place outside my field of vision, whole ass hallway, I just talked about it. The culprit kept out of sight by hiding
In the dining room! Under the table. That's the real surprise.
Take that!
There was a very large blind spot, one I could not see beyond, and it was here.
You're feeling the magic behind the trick, and that's why they're all banned.
If my assailant hit on the other side of the movable mirror,
Then you wouldn't be able to see him. Was Gumshoe in the dining room with a gun? By accident, probably. And it was probably Meekin's gun. He didn't even need to do anything to the Blue Badger doll.
exactly, all he had to do was wait for me on the other side of the mirror.
Wait, hold on. I just thought of something.
Yes?
Well, shouldn't the mirror wall be broken right now in reality?
Since we have a few shards of it, we can probably assume it is. Yes, it most definitely is broken. The question is, when was it broken? Since we found these inside the victim's costume, that means the victim was there when the mirror was broken. Wait, that sound.
Leave the money and go now.
That sound I heard was most definitely the sound of a mirror breaking. Okay, I'd like to input some new information.
Don't scare me like that. Arrest Kun, that's a good name.
Sorry, but I need you to recreate something for me.
Sure, whatever you need. So, what do you need anyway?
If you could first recreate this hallway just before I entered the dining room.
You got it.
Hey, Toa, how's it going? Now this, I believe, is how it was right before I entered the dining room. Although at the time, I thought it was but a single straight hallway. And then I went inside. It was around then that I heard the sound of a mirror shattering.
You heard what? Then...
Yes, I believe it was then that the mirror was broken.
Okay, so then when you stepped outside into the hallway again...
The mirror wall should no longer exist. Kay, please recreate that.
You got it.
We are operating on so many assumptions.
Wait, but with the mirror gone, the culprit lost his hiding spot. So, where did he go in his proto-badger suit, Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh, that's easy enough. With the mirror gone, he simply hid himself in the branch hallway.
I think this about wraps it up. Looks like we finally solved everything.
No, not yet. An even larger contradiction has now reared its head.
Huh?
Perhaps you did not notice, but this recreation contains a very troubling inconsistency. The inconsistency between what I saw and the recreation lies...
I'm actually not entirely certain what they're going for at the moment.
Our logic stands on the castle of mirrors. It's just like... It's so ridiculous. When the prosecutor were allowed unlimited stupid assumptions?
No. We have a health bar that I'm sure implies a limited number of stupid assumptions. I think.
We did it. We solved the case of the power of assumptions.
Hooray!
Maybe the guy that didn't believe in words, evidence, or anything else was onto something. Lang Ji says, fuck the evidence. Arrest him. If the first Phoenix Wright game taught me something, was that Edgeworth's method was constant borderline malpractice.
Yeah, I know, and I'm kind of surprised that we're not really seeing that at all in him in this. It's like, I hope he learned to be a better person since then, otherwise I should... Oh, no, you know what it is? I'm not in a courtroom. And because I'm not in a courtroom, I don't need to make up the evidence. That's the deal. He's got to be in a courtroom or he can't do it.
How far is the battery of the gadget? Oh no, we made too many assumptions and we ran out of battery. It's all over now. Alright, let's see. So... what were they asking us?
Inconsistency between what he saw and the recreation. Well, when he stepped out, I swear there was, like, still a badger behind us. Also... Oh, I wonder... so if he did kill him then the body slumped over at the end would probably actually have been... Like, originally we would have seen, you know, the doll, the blue badger. But then we would have had to have seen the dead guy, because there was still one there, I swear.
Must remind you only have 6 minutes in the recreation. Holy shit, are we running? Oh. Are we on Somni Files? Look, I'm not moving, so the timer doesn't go down, right? But I'm pretty sure it's gonna come down to, like, the body or lack thereof, or the fact that we're still seeing something there, I think. I hope. I really hope. Otherwise, I don't know what they're going for. Okay, take a good look at the end of the hall.
Oh, there's no blue badger there.
Exactly. The blue badger that I saw in reality is not here. This is the final point on this long chain of logic, the last remaining contradiction.
Yeah, this should be the dead dude there. So, let me get this straight. When you came out of the dining room, you saw a badger, right?
And that is precisely where the final contradiction lies. Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you suppose it was? I just want to take a quick look at something.
Yeah, the one I'm seeing though still looks like it has the belt. Though, The version of it that's showing up right there is still mirrored. I believe this is... Oh, the real identity of our mystery badger? Oh, can I... Do I have... I guess that's what I'd have to point to. Because that's the only thing that's like... Does that count, or can I use... No, I think I'd have to use this. I'm pretty sure I'd have to use this. Played the game 17 years ago. I don't feel too confident in my memories of it. Honestly, I have found... The Lorax. Hey, little Cabrero. The real identity... True, could we... Well, that's the murder notes, though, specifically. I don't know if that... Oh, man, it comes down to the question of, are they asking us to give them Mr. Deacon? In which case... Or are they asking us to give us the Bad Badger? I'm gonna... Let's go with the actual profile. Mr. Deacon. Because... The contradiction should be that it's the Bad Badger, not the Blue Badger, that's still there. But I'm not sure I have anything that effectively allows me to really say... This is the only thing that kind of lets me say the Bad Badger. That specific phrasing, though, the real identity of our Mystery Badger. Mystery Badger implies, and it's got to be the Bad Badger that we're going for. So I'm gonna pick the victim's costume, because this is also the time you would have been shot. So I think this is the way they want it answered.
Take that!
The badger I saw was, in actuality, the dead victim's body.
Okay, that seems promising. I'm sorry, Watson.
Agent Lang, the entirety of my complete logic is my final, decisive piece of evidence. The murder happened in the hallway of the haunted house at the time of the drop-off. And you can consider the moment I heard the mirror breaking to be the real time of death for Mr. Deacon.
No.
Maybe it was due to their fighting, or perhaps it was the life-shattering bullet. But no matter what the cause was, the hallway mirror wall was broken.
You were in the house at the time, right? Are you telling me you missed the sound of a gunshot? Well, I mean, it was point blank and shoved into a fuzzy suit, so I guess... Poor man's silencer?
Objection!
There were a variety of sound effects playing at the time, all for the theatrics, I assume. The gunshot must have blended right in.
Oh, that's... I mean, he can't really argue it, but we can't prove it either. Do the same with the pillow? Mm-hmm. Can confirm.
Now then, I'd like you to recall something for me. Who was it that was with the victim at the haunted house? Who was the one who had the opportunity to rob the victim of his gun and use it on him? Not me? It was you, Lance Amino.
Well, he hulked out and then he cried like a bitch.
I'm sorry. It's not like I had a choice. Oliver turned on me all of a sudden. He snapped and turned violent right after I hung up with you. He shoved me to the ground and straddled me. I fought back as hard as I could, grabbed his gun, and I shot him. The bullet must have went through his body and shattered the mirror. If I hadn't taken his gun and shot him first, I would have been the one you found. He's a hardened criminal. He escaped from jail. See? That's justified self-defense. My boy was only trying to protect himself.
He apparently also had his handcuffs back on.
That remains to be seen and will have to be resolved in court. Agent Lang, I leave the rest to you.
As if you were the one in charge around here. Guys, arrest these two and get them out of my sight.
Wait, I had nothing to do with the murder. The only person you should be arresting is Lance. Dad?
Oh, he's done.
Sorry, but you're not slipping away that easily, Mr. Ernest Amino. You tampered with the evidence so you could cover for your son.
Oh, thank you. There we go. Someone actually calling him on it.
What a great dad you are, willing to risk it all. Truly touching.
Yeah.
By the way, do you know why I'm really here?
And how can I possibly know the answer to such an asinine question? Wait, are you the IRS?
You wound me. I came all this way from across the sea just to see you, you know.
You came to see me? What's that supposed to mean?
I have a few things to ask you, Mr. Amino, about a case from 10 years ago.
A case from 10 years ago?
Oh, what's the name that you use here for that case? Shina.
It is known as KG-8 incident. The KG-8 incident?
Oh, so you remember it. Good. Then you'll recall that the trigger in that case was the Amino Group's scandal. Specifically, the charge of an international smuggling ring, or internal smuggling ring.
Smuggling. There's that word again.
At the time, the person that was arrested as the ringleader was Mr. Amino's very own secretary, Mr. Colin Deveray.
Father.
Even though you pushed the crime onto your then secretary, Mr. Deveray. I always suspected that you were involved with the smuggling ring, Mr. Amino. Mr. Deveray was arrested in place of you, which is why when he broke out, you hid him from the police, right?
What is that ring? It's a ring pop.
You hid him in exchange for silence on your little dirty secret.
Now, lots of nows. Please calm down. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Pretend to be ignorant all you want. We're taking you down to the precinct anyway for a nice long chat.
Fuck.
Who's holding us now?
What the heck was that?
Oh, fuck's sake. Well, I guess it's a good thing we didn't give Zap Brannigan to Mr. Wolfman, because it appears he has returned. I'll take him down to the precinct if you don't mind.
Who the heck are you?
This is before the first case. Yeah, there's a couple of things happened before that first case. I'm Jacques Portsman, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case.
Oh, Jacques, thank goodness you're here.
Don't jerk me around. This is an Interpol case, so keep your paws off my suspect.
Sorry, but I can't comply. I've got the backing of the prosecutor's office. See, in this country, we prosecutors work with the police to bring cases to court. So if you could please cooperate with me here, that'd be great. Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal?
Sorry, but I hate prosecutors, the whole lot of you. Guys, arrest the two suspects.
Sir.
Oh, I almost forgot. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, is it? I'd like to thank you.
Thank me?
Yeah, for working so hard to fulfill my goal.
Hey, is that any way to thank someone? And what the heck is that supposed to mean?
You were so relentless with Lance that you forced Ernest to tamper with the evidence. Thanks to that, I finally had a legitimate reason to arrest him. So, how does it feel to fight the hand that feeds you?
The hand that feeds me? I'm not sure I follow.
It's no use pretending with me, you're the one, right? You're the corrupt prosecutor that's working for Mr. Amino in the smuggling ring, right?
That leads us ultimately to Jacques Portsman.
No, I would never do such a thing.
What the heck? Our intel's never wrong. In your prosecutor's office, there's definitely someone working with the ring.
Ah, so Agent Lang suspected my relation to Mr. Amino. That must be the real reason behind his antagonistic attitude.
On top of that, Your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? There were non-stop rumors flying around about forged evidence with that guy. You're not twisting the truth behind those closed courtroom doors too, are you?
The courtroom is a place where the truth is revealed.
Okay then. Well, don't worry, it's not only you. The whole lot of you can't be trusted. A prosecutor who never lost in 40 years? Every defendant must be found guilty. Well, to be fair, the prosecution rate in Japan is insane. The defense rate is, like, so minuscule that someone actually having a 40-year record is not as unbelievable as you think. Prosecution rate is something like 97%. This last time I went reading up on it. Fueled by that kind of thinking, is it any wonder that courts produce nothing but falsities and lies?
It would seem that his disdain extends beyond just me. Prosecutors, the courts, why is this man so angry with us all?
Rest assured, the next time we meet, I won't be so forgiving. So don't you forget it.
Thank you, Sheena, for providing the extra emphasis.
Please wait. Agent Sheena. Why does Agent Lang hate all prosecutors so?
Lang is head of long-honored House of Lang in Jingfa. Heads of all police-related divisions in that country were of Lang blood.
Were? What do you mean by that? Aren't they still?
They were revealed, but it was long ago. They do not hold that sort of sway anymore. And it was all because of courts.
How can that be?
Prosecutor once withheld and tampered with evidence one of Lang detectives found. Evidence's purity was tarnished and costed Lang family honor and trust.
But not all prosecutors are like that. Hashtag not all prosecutors?
Even so, Lang will never respect court again. No prosecutor.
So Agent Lang is a man who hates all courts and is unwilling to forgive prosecutors.
Man, what a piece of work that guy is. Come on, Jim. We'd better catch up.
Yep. I don't get a voice because I'm dead.
We've still got to deliver that thing to the old man after all.
I was gonna say, does anyone want to look in on Lauren, who's just like,
Hi, I engaged in a kidnapping and thought I murdered a man who turned out to be my father, and apparently now I have no father and no boyfriend. Why am I not being arrested? I guess she should just leave now, while no one notices her.
Detective Gumshoe, I believe it's time we wrapped up and headed out ourselves.
Looks like we'll never have a court case in this game. I know, no Judge Nappa.
So sorry. Maybe next time.
Yeah. You going home, Mr. Edgeworth?
No, I've done nothing but be entangled in one mess after another since my return. If it's alright with you, can you drop me off at my office?
Oh, is this one case?
No, we got there late though. It was late at night.
Nah, no problem, sir.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
It is. Thank you very much.
That's okay. Don't need to thank me, pal. Just doing my job as a detective. I don't know what my job is again. What do I do? Do I do anything around here? Mr. Edgeworth, what do I do?
I guess it was fooled pretty badly by Lance. Oh, cruel fate. What's a woman to do when she's been hurt by the one she loves? And to think I never realized my father was right there. Never said anything to him. I know it. I am failure.
Oh, there she goes again, talking to herself.
Yeah, that woman's a danger to herself. Miss Pops, I wonder if you know why your father participated in the kidnapping?
No, I have no idea.
Your father died while he was trying to stop Lance. Which means that from the beginning, he had no interest in the staged self-abduction.
Wait, then why did he...
I believe it was because of your presence, Miss Pops.
Me?
Lance realized the two of you were related, which is why he used you as a hostage to coerce Mr. Deveray into cooperating. And Father, as a felon, he could not tell you of his real relation to you. However, as the Amano family butler, at the very least, he was able to watch over you. It was all he could do, but that was the shape of his overflowing love for you. Go on, speak your mind.
She participated in kidnapping fraud, but the person defrauded was also a criminal. I'm pretty sure Lang's only overlooking it because he's like, well, got the one I'm here for.
It is... Thank you very much. You're welcome, although there's no need to thank me. No, Lawrence, I mean, this man is so much older than you.
I'm going to start receiving baskets of flowers from her and Old Bag. Also, I feel like she's failed to ask the most important question. Does she still have employment now? Because, I mean, I don't think she does.
Looks like you've completely stolen her away, Mr. Edgeworth.
Ah, way to go, sir.
Your technique is like way beyond the level of a great thief. What are you going on about now?
They don't need money in Japan for it anyways. Then why is there $1 million ransom?
Wow, your deducing skills may be sound, but you have no street smarts.
That's Mr. Edgeworth for you.
Yeah, I mean, he still hasn't figured out who I am at all. Oh, what? If you haven't remembered in all this time, I guess I'm just gonna have to say it. This isn't the first time we've met, you know.
Well, what do you mean, pal? Mr. Edgeworth? How do you know this girl?
Looks like you totally forgot me too, Gummy.
Gummy? Oh, gummy sound good.
Here, maybe this'll jog your memories. I promised I'd return this to you one day, remember? That single piece of cloth took me back far into my past. To that fateful day 7 years ago when I first met the then-child Kay. And Detective Gumshoe.
Is our fourth case going to be 7 years ago? Oh, goody. Even the trophy is a picture of my ass about to get beat by the proto-badger.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, stuff. Well, I guess we'll move onwards. Turnabout Reminiscence. And, oh dear. The fifth one is Turnabout Blaze. I've heard about that one. I think it's rated as like the third longest case in the series. We heard you like flashbacks, so we put flashbacks in your flashbacks. Aha, but what if the first one was actually a flash forward? You ever think of that? A Blaze is long? Okay, so only the third longest in that it's only about 20 minutes off of, oh shit. I can't remember the name of that one. But then it's like 5 hours shorter than the longest one. How long is long? Clock's like 7.5 hours. I want to say it was clocked at 7:25. The second longest was 7:45, and the first longest was 12 hours. So, yeah. Yeah, Rise from the Ashes. Right. Yeah, I don't know any of the specifics of any of those cases. The only reason I know about them is because I was doing digging for like length of game so I could handle scheduling, and I ran across that. Kay Faraday, the young lady who calls herself the Yatagarasu. The piece of cloth that she conjured up has taken me back to many years ago. Gantnuff said,
That was a pretty fucking long one, too. Still not as long as those ones, though, apparently.
Yeah, that's right, I did it. I killed the guy. It was the great thief Yadagarsu that told me to do it.
I asked the defendant just what exactly you're trying to say.
Why don't you get it? I know the true identity of the Yadagarsu.
Random lawyers and people. Just make up voices on the go.
The Yadagarsu is the man standing over there at the prosecutor's bench.
I'm sorry, are you saying that I'm the Yadagarsu?
Don't you dare deny it. You told me to kill him when you snuck into the embassy.
Are you claiming that Mr. Faraday is the Yadagarsu?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Mr. Rel, I think we've heard just about enough out of you.
Your Honor, please listen to me. I'm telling the truth. You gotta believe me.
Oh dear, Cubby.
In accordance with the defendant's accusation, a new prosecutor shall be called to replace Mr. Faraday. Recusing? Oh my god. This court will be in recess until the new prosecutor is ready.
What? What? You mean you didn't just let the dude who was accused continue running the case like every other time prior?
September 10th, 3:20 p.m. District Court, 3rd floor lobby.
Oh, we've got that outfit on.
It's almost time for me to enter the courtroom. And so it is that my first assignment as a prosecutor will be as a replacement for a prosecutor who has been accused by the defendant.
Wait, you're saying the judge and jury actually believe the random accusation with no evidence? I'm sorry, this has been called into question. We're going to have to get somebody else to replace you. But what? It's a little sketchy. Edgeworth? I don't know who that is. Oh!
It's back.
Oh, excellent. Man for a jump scare. Oh yeah. I am happy.
You know what this means. Finally we get to unleash the Von Karma again. We have waited so long. Sir? Have you read over all of the documents regarding this trial? Yes, sir. I've memorized everything there is to know. Very good. The paperwork for the prosecutor substitution is just about complete. Edgeworth, always bear in mind that as your mentor, I am Manfred von Karma, not a vampire. Will accept nothing short of perfection. Cheat if you've got to. I understand, sir. To have the chance to stand in court at such an early stage in my career, I am honored and proud. As I have watched over your studies, I am giving you this very rare chance. Prove yourself. Crush the defendant's pathetic lies into oblivion. Yes, sir.
Dun dun dun.
That such a legendary prosecutor will be watching and judging my performance, I have to be perfect in every way.
No pressure, boy.
Love that you developed this voice for Von Karma.
I know. I love when we get a new voice that winds up in the list just named after the character we did it for.
What's up, guys? Aren't this great? Daddy made all these.
Awesome. But didn't you get fired right after you made them?
Yeah, I did. I spent the same amount of money on this model as it cost to build the real thing. And my boss wasn't very happy with me.
Hey, Daddy. Didn't you say you built a secret mechanism inside of it?
I'll tell you about it someday when you're older. A secret mechanism? Maybe he installed it as payback for getting fired. It could be trouble. Now I'm curious. Today's trial should have ended in just 1 minute. Because the defendant was picked up by the security camera, correct? Exactly. The killer get the goal to say he only killed because he was instructed to do so. Even more outrageous is his claim that the case prosecutor, Baron Faraday, gave the order. I don't know, that doesn't look like a trustworthy face. Faraday is such a fool. He has been cornered by his very own prey. Sir, are you an acquaintance of Mr. Baron Faraday? He is a pathetic man who speaks nothing but nonsense. Nonsense? He once tried to explain to me a way of punishing those who cannot be brought to court. Those who cannot be brought to court? That is nonsense, for no man is above the law. Oh, Edgeworth, you will learn. Well, there are always a few exceptions. However, there's no reason to even deal with such individuals. A prosecutor is a guardian of the court, one with no obligation to outside matters. Thus, there is no reason to deal with such individuals. I see. Edgeworth, disgracing yourself as Faraday has will not be forgiven. Have no fear, I will not let you down, sir. In place of the accused prosecutor Baron Faraday, I will prove the defendant's guilt. Very good. I have secured an hour of recess for you to prepare to do just that. Show them all the power of one karma. No man's above the law got a good chuckle out of me. And then a dead sigh. Yeah. So, have you achieved a firm understanding of the case? Yes, sir. I have memorized everything that is written down in the case files. I'm going to pull it now. Well, I don't really have them. Okay. Never mind. Proof of my profession, my mentor said it was more chic to keep it in my pocket. Baby Edgeworth is much less smug. He hasn't learned how to be smug yet. Well then, explain the case to me. I want to see if you really know what you are talking about. Understood. A murder was committed on September 8th in front of the Codopian embassy. The victim, Mr. Deadman. Hey guys, I found Mr. Body. Dead at birth. Mr. Body's cousin, right? The victim, Mr. Deadman, was a staff member at the embassy. The defendant in this case, Mr. Mackerel. Sorry, I don't have a fish voice to give that dude. Was held for questioning the night of the incident as he was deemed suspicious. He was quickly placed under arrest for possession of the murder weapon, a gun. Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yatagarasu had successfully infiltrated the Codopian embassy as well. At first, Rel claimed that he himself was the Yatagarasu, but that he did not kill Deadman. I wonder what he expected to gain from such a desperate lie. Mackerel with a Makarov. Eating macarons. It is possible he wants to go down while in the spotlight if he is found guilty. There truly is no limit to people's inanity. But I digress. Continue, Edgeworth. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecution presented the security footage that captured the murder. Is there a way to mute... well, like mute other chatters? I mean, yeah, you can just... on my end or your end? Because on my end, it's pretty much just blocking people permanently. I'm pretty sure there's an ignore command on an individual case, though. That said, I'd recommend you just actually behave as opposed to asking me to mute you, because I will just wind up hitting the ban instead, because it's easier for me. So, let's not come to that. That would be unfortunate. The footage clearly showed Mr. Rel as the murderer. The act of Mr. Rel firing the gun could be clearly seen from the visitor's gallery. Upon seeing that, the defendant retracted his statement and admitted to the murder. I did it because I was told to. By the real Yatagarasu, Baron Faraday. That sounds about right. However, you've forgotten one thing.
One of us, by force or by choice.
Reaper, thank you so much for the gift sub to Overload. Overload, welcome back, one of us. Whether you want to be or not.
While this may appear to simply be the murder of a Kodopian Embassy staff member, people are actually referring to it as the second KG-8 incident. The second KG-8 incident? I'm very sorry, sir. I fear I failed to study hard enough. Well, even amongst the police, it is information that only a select few are privy to. Could you please enlighten me, sir?
Closest voicer of fish should be a Prinny because they love fish. That is fair. However, I do not think I'm going to risk doing Prinny for an entire defendant. Let's talk about the second KG-8 incident.
Sir, what do you mean by the second KG-8 incident? In order for me to tell you that, you must first learn about the original case. Take a look at these documents. This is a 3-year-old newspaper.
Yes, Reaper's here, the one pun lord you can't ban. Alright, reference materials regarding KG-8 incident. I received them from my mentor.
You've heard of the Amino Group scandal before, correct?
I feel like I need to crack my neck really badly.
Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Amino, the Amino Group's director, was arrested under suspicion of smuggling.
Thank you for the double lurk, Aros.
Correct.
CCU? CCU? Just makes me think of concurrent users.
CCU was an employee of the Amano Group, and the sole witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought the crime to light. However, Miss Yu was silenced before she could testify in court. Wasn't a Kodopian Embassy staff member arrested for the murder? Yes, a Kodopian boy by the name of Manny Kochin was the suspect. However, due to lack of evidence, the case went unresolved. Lack of evidence?
First horror game I really got invested thanks to... Oh, Yama Warrior is great.
If only I was in charge of the case.
Have a good lurk, Reb. Don't just lurk, remember to hit the like button, smack the subscribe button, ring the bell, and comment for the algorithm. Sure, thanks. Appreciate it.
I would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt, legal or otherwise. To make sure that all criminals are found guilty, my mentor really is dedicated. Faraday was the prosecutor on the case then, and he was as pathetic as ever. Mr. Faraday was in charge of the KG-8 incident as well? That is right. And now, once again, the victim of the case you're currently assigned to was someone who was scheduled to testify against the smuggling organization. And just like last time...
Speaking of pretties,
Get gifted.
thank you very much for the 20 gift sub bomb, Bill. How are you doing tonight? Much appreciated. Oh, all these poor people who have no idea why they're getting subbed to me. Also, I think we're at a new record number of subs.
And just like last time, the victim was murdered right before he was to testify. You're catching on. The victim was murdered just before his day in court against the smuggling organization. The events are occurring almost exactly the same way as they did in the KG-8 incident. So that's why it's being called the second KG-8 incident? Yes. Yet there is one difference between the two incidents. And what would that be? The so-called noble thief that is sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu. I'd better find out more.
Let's talk about Yatagarasu, please.
If it is true that the Yatagarasu showed up at the Kodopian Embassy, what could he or she have been after? No doubt to steal any suspicious accounting records and release them publicly. Or more likely to steal secrets from the Kodopian embassy itself. When will I get super chats up and running on the YouTube side? You have to be partnered for that, and we're not. So whenever we get up over 3,000 hours watched in the last 365 days, we'll meet the criteria. We're around 1,900 right now. It's been going up pretty steadily. Since the item the Yatagarasu stole from there was sent to the police. What was it that the Yatagarasu sent to the police? I do not know the details. Anything related to the Yatagarasu is getting the top secret treatment. Still, I find it very ironic. By returning the stolen item to the police, it was proof positive that the Yatagarasu had infiltrated the embassy on the same day the staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? Adding more time to the numbers. I appreciate it, Zioni. That would have to be the first time the Yatagarasu has left evidence behind, correct? Yes, indeed. If you wish to learn more about the Yatagarasu, then I suggest you ask Faraday. Mr. Faraday? He happens to be the prosecutor in charge of the Yatagarasu case as well.
Oh, Bruce Wayne, are you investigating Batman?
He's the prosecutor in charge of both the KG-8 incident and the Yatagarasu case? Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate. What is it, little girl?
Oh my god, she was so cute as a kid. Oh wow. Hey Toa, how's it going? Hang on, I'm gonna ping this thing. Okay, it's all good.
He's all good.
You're like totes scary, mister.
Did you need something?
I wanna like trade these coins with you.
Fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies, but it looks like you have exactly $1. Is this what you want?
Thanks. That's like totally exactly what I needed. Goodbye.
Could that child be here to watch the trial?
I'm disrespectful for a child like that to be running around inside the courthouse.
Does no one have respect for this country's judicial system anymore?
Wait until you meet Lang.
Paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is complete.
By you. Do you even know how much time there is left before the trial resumes?
I'm so sorry.
They can have you mopping up this courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant.
It's no bother, sir. Not being completely prepared could prove to be a perfect handicap for me.
A proud one you are. You had better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It is time for your debut, Edgeworth.
Faking evidence? Faking evidence is not an affront to the court. It's how you get convictions, and convictions are good for the court. Therefore, acceptable. September 10th, 4 o'clock p.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 3.
Looks like I'm impersonating him.
Just what is going on? Why isn't Faraday here yet? How is it possible that the defense is not prepared yet either?
Manfred? What about womanfred, boyfriend, girlfriend, and kidfriend?
Thank you for the bet spill. Bailiff, where is Mr. Faraday? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention.
Ah, you must be the one Mr. Von Karma recommended.
There you go, Ningwam.
I hear this will be your first trial. I look forward to seeing how you perform. By the way, is there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn I heard a popper going off, and no one invited me. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson.
Sir, it looks like the trial is about to resume. However, yes, it will be all but impossible to prove the witness a liar without the evidence from Faraday. What is that blasted buffoon up to?
It's an sirs? Oh God, is it him? Is it Meekins again? It's an emergency, sirs! No, it's a Gumshoe. Emergency. My apologies.
Silence.
There shall be no yelling in this sacred hall of law. Except for me. Bailiff, remove that man from this courtroom at once.
Please. Wait, you have to listen to me. There's an emergency. Defendant lobby number 2. Mr. Faraday and the defendant, the two of them, they're both dead, Your Honor.
What the
What the? I'm sorry, what? Well, don't I have an interesting case to do? Now that's how you debut. With a triple homicide, I guess. September 10th, District Court, hallway. Oh, you? What voice do you have? You're definitely gonna need one. Oh, he does have the scruffy thing going on, doesn't he? Oh, yeah. Let's check the old voice list just in case. Wow, I don't think we actually had a scruffy back then. Perfect.
All right, then. It's time to get Scruffy down. Stay back.
Oh, excuse me.
No one's allowed on the crime scene. Period.
Just who does this oddball think he is? Well, we kind of had to give her a voice in a rush earlier, and we just gave her a fairly normal one. I might actually go ahead and keep that just to save myself some bullshit.
No, Scruffy's not Gumshoe. What are you talking about? Gumshoe's Gumshoe. He's got his own voice. We came up with it during Phoenix Wright. Like 2 years ago.
I'm gonna leave her with a normal read. Save me some trouble for once. This is becoming quite the hotspot. Isn't she Mr. Rell's defense attorney? Oh God, look at all the ants. Why are there so many ants?
Hey you, no running in the hallway, pal.
No, car salesman's wound up with the VIP. They're both the same kind of scuzzy voice, so... Can I interest you in this brand new Cadillac? It's going cheap and easy right now. It's neither cheap nor easy. Unlike your mom. And who are you to tell me what to do? I'll never find out what's going on like this. It's time for some civil discourse. What is... This sofa looks like it's seen its fair share of use. And looks like another part of the courthouse is visible from the window. My eyes have locked with my reflection's eyes in the barred window. As a student of on karma, I refuse to back down. I won. He blinked first? Excuse me, but who are you?
Detective Terrell Bad. Homicide. Holy shit, I've been shot at a lot.
I was informed of the situation and came as quickly as possible. So how did you arrive and inspect the body before me? Over the...
Faraday requested for me to testify in the trial. Plain and simple.
Mr. Faraday requested that you be here?
Well, let us talk.
I've already contacted HQ about the situation. I got nothing to say to you, kid.
Alright, Mr. Bad in the list. Bad to the bone. The good, the bad, and the gumshoe. kid. I'm Mr. Faraday's substitute in today's trial. Therefore, I insist you update me on the situation. I can't back down here. I have a right to know.
Trying to teach you a thing or two about how to talk to adults, kid.
Is he threatening me? Is he going for his gun? It's just a mirror. How dare he trick me like that?
Also, I'm slightly drawn up by the fact that the courthouse has $7 hot dogs in the vending machine. $7 for a friggin' hot dog.
Faraday was stabbed to death with some kind of blade, and he had a gun in his hand. The other man, Mr. Mackerel, was shot and killed. He was found holding a bloody knife in his hand.
Was there anyone else who went into defendant lobby number 2?
Yep, that big lug over there. His name's Gumshoe. He was in charge of guarding the place, claiming that no one else entered the room.
If that's the case, then they must have killed each other, correct?
Yes, that is an ant trail.
Maybe.
Such impudence. This guy is really testing my patience.
Well, let's talk trial witness. Now curious about the price of the orange juice, right? Like, what? Why are these so expensive? Beef jerky, $9. You know what? That's more believable.
Why was I not informed you were going to testify in court?
Homicides aren't my only gig. The Yatagarasu case is also one of my assignments.
So you were called upon to comment on the Yatagarasu's characteristics, in order to assess if Mr. Faraday really was the Yatagarasu or not?
Well, looks like you just might have a brain after all in that head of yours, son.
Son, I am not your son, Pops. No, wait, Pops was the lady that we dealt with in the last case, which I haven't done yet. In the future.
Fear my prosecutor's badge.
Showing it off make you feel like a big, strong prosecutor.
Of course not. I was simply proving my title of prosecutor to you.
I see, but most prosecutors don't go around flaunting those things. It's like a detective walking around outside with his badge flashing in the sunlight.
Gumshoe?
Show it off too much, and before you know it, you'll be able to deep and angry criminals.
That would definitely be a problem. Do you have a minute?
You know, I'm not really into talking to people I don't know. Especially at a time like this.
I apologize for not introducing myself before bothering you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I was to take Mr. Faraday's place in court.
Edgeworth, huh? Never heard of you. So Faraday's substitute is a newbie, huh?
I'll have you know, madam, that I studied under Manfred von Karma. Do not take me for some naive novice.
Oh my god, the orange juice is $9. Do not take me for some naive novice? So you're a student of Von Karma. I should have... Well, those clothes are a dead giveaway.
Stop right there. These are the garments of one who gallantly presents the facts.
Thanks for the great laugh, but try not to make me laugh so much, okay?
I wasn't trying to do anything of the sort.
Just kidding. I was just goofing around. By the way, do you know who I am? My name is Callisto Yu. Oh no. She's good. I like her. And if you're telling the truth, then we're about to go head-to-head in court.
Oh, but of course, I have heard much about you, Miss Yu.
Oh, but of course, I have heard much about you. You're regular Shakespeare.
Did I say something funny? I'd like you to update me on the situation. I don't really know anything. Why don't you try talking to those detectives over there? If that's the case, then why are you here?
She's losing it again.
What's so funny?
It's just that the way you speak is so tactless.
The person I was going against in court until only a little while ago was just murdered. It's not like I could go back into the courtroom pretending as though nothing happened. That's a good point. I apologize for asking such an insensitive question. It's fine, don't worry about it.
And you?
And you are...
Yeah, someone calling Edgeworth out on his mannerisms makes the voice all the better for him. Nah, who me? Hey, pal. It's common courtesy to tell someone your name first before asking theirs.
Point taken. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a district prosecutor.
Nah, prosecutor. I've never seen a prosecutor as young as you, pal.
I've told you my name, now would you mind telling me yours?
Detective Dick Gumshoe, and just recently I achieved my dream of becoming a detective. Wasn't a dream. It's what I was born to do. Wait, maybe I should check and make sure I'm not really in some crazy dream first.
This detective is entirely too excited to be at a murder scene.
Oh, well, I mean, you gotta love your job, right?
So, Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling me what you know about the incident?
Now you know I don't have to tell you anything, right?
I know that, but it would behoove you to fill me in on what you know.
You're a proud one for such a youngster, ain't you? Oh, well, anyway, Detective Bad is the one in charge, so, you're just gonna have to ask him for all the details, okay? And as for me, I was guarding the door to the defendant lobby number 2.
So, you were on guard detail. Did you notice anything strange while you were on duty?
Freaked out when I heard a gunshot, and then I kinda froze.
You're a detective, and it means that gunshots scared you that much. Then again, I can hardly claim to not know what it's like to hear. I can hardly claim to not know what it's like to hear when at close range.
And Detective Bad came running to the scene. I went into lobby number 2 together, and both men were lying there dead.
Is that everything?
Yeah, that's it. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep or a struggle.
Interesting. Other than the gunshot, he didn't hear a single sound of commotion.
Oh boy, Gumshoe's testimony.
Miss Yu, there's someone here who wishes to see you.
I like how Edgeworth feels younger here, but Gumshoe still gives 50-year-old divorced Columbo vibes. No, but just one last thing, pal.
Who is it? A Kodopian Embassy staff member by the name of Manny Kochin.
What?
What's going on? Detective Bad and Miss Yu's moods just changed all of a sudden. He got named earlier. What was that relation to him?
Ah, yes, the one who supposedly didn't murder CCU, obviously the sister of our defendant.
Wait a second, wasn't Manny Kochin... I'll be right there.
Oh, what voice for this guy? Mr. Kochin. That judge poster, yeah.
Cushion voice.
Young judges for justice, but clearly ancient. Creepy old man. Kochin. Thank you for the bits, Bill. Yeah, I thought that too when I said Kochin voice. Is Ozma available? Ozma should technically...
Yeah, Ozma should be available.
Yeah, I think we're good for it. All right, cool. I'm always down to do that voice.
All right then. Well, it's nice to see you again, Miss You. Why are you here?
I have no desire to ever see you again.
Now, actually, would you mind stepping outside for a brief chat?
Fine, let's go. Power walking with my cane. Bed.
Well, Karma, been a long time.
They knew you would show up. You usually do when the other guy is involved, and I see this case is no exception.
Do you know Detective Bad, sir?
Yes, he's like old bloodhound that never leaves the scene of a crime. If only he would get the promotion and move on.
As the crime scene where detective is most useful and effective.
It is not like I don't know that. Moving on though, Bed, the man that just passed by. Was he not the suspect from the KG8 incident?
So I was right.
Just what is that man doing wandering around here? That Faraday. I can't believe he let such an easy catch get away. Imbecile. I would have proved his guilt in 3 minutes.
Well, Karma, I think you've said enough for now. It's in poor taste to speak like that about the departed.
Oh, damn it, Osmo voice will forever be linked to ZZ's Ryo Mikazu.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Anyways, you wanna get tied up?
That is also a voice that was named for the original character we used it on, who was, so it'll always be linked to the original character for me. I liked him. Fire Emblem Fates. Very well. Back on topic. I am placing Edgeworth in charge of the investigation here.
Objection!
Oh my god.
How do I do the tiny German? I don't know how to do the tiny German. She's so young. Good God. It's just a little riding crop.
Alright, tiny cute Francisca.
That's better. Back to the German voice for her then. Papa, how can you place him in charge?
Francisca, what are you doing here?
A tiny whip, it's a crop. I'm here for summer vacation, what else?
Franziska von Karma. So she's here on vacation from Germany. She's the daughter of Manfred von Karma and a student of his who is also junior to me.
You're the one who's junior to me, and don't you forget it.
You're not conveniently avoiding the bar examination, are you?
If you were able to pass this, then I have absolutely no trouble at all. I will never allow myself to lose to you. Never.
Why does she always have to be this competitive?
Anyway, Papa, are you really assigning Mars Edgeworth to cover the case?
Yes, I am. Why do you ask? Yes, she heard my inner monologue. She's scary like that.
Well, you know, I'm close to becoming a prosecutor myself. I'm something of a prosecutor myself. And I am 100% confident that I can do a better job than him.
That's just like Franziska. She has no problem bad-mouthing someone right in front of them. Bad.
Yeah.
These two will be conducting the investigation. Both of them.
What? You don't let both these kids loose on the crime scene.
This is a perfect opportunity for them to work on their prosecutorial skills.
Crime scene is not a place for children to be messing around in.
I am the one with the authority over this crime scene, Bad. And I will not tolerate complaining.
Well,
Edgeworth, Franziska, I leave this case to the two of you. Understood, sir.
Yes, Papa.
I will go take care of the paperwork now. Remember, I will accept nothing but a perfect report from the both of you. Seriously, Franziska, I will disown you if there's any mistakes. Do not disappoint me.
hold on, Karma. I still haven't agreed to this. God damn it.
Oh my god, Tiny Francisco's adorable.
Miles Edgeworth.
It's been quite some time, Francisco.
This would be the perfect chance for us to see which of us is truly worthy of the one common name.
Would it kill you to at least say hello?
A long time no see.
Very good.
Just because you became a prosecutor first doesn't mean you can act all proud.
She hasn't changed a bit.
And she never will. In fact, really the only thing that'll change is she'll have more reach.
Miles Edgeworth, as I was saying, we shall see which one of us is worthy of the one common name.
Oh, crying out loud. I've been reduced to a babysitter.
It looks like Mr. Von Karma was successful in convincing the detective.
I'll be honest, she's scary. I kind of love her.
That's just like him. He never fails. Now, I'd appreciate if you could quickly run me through the facts, Detective Bad.
Better off checking things out on your own.
Very well. Seems like getting help from Detective Bad will be a most arduous task.
She make a good sister battle. Oh my god. Wow, that's...
September 10th, 4:15 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 2, playing Nambo number 5. Is the only real explanation that they killed each other simultaneously?
Miles Edgeworth, you should listen to someone until they are finished talking.
What are you talking about?
I will only say it one more time. This is a competition to see who is truly worthy of the one common name.
A competition?
The person who figures out the truth first wins.
So the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name?
Exactly. I do not care since you became a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish things come from your foolishly foolish mouth.
Fine, whatever makes you happy.
Here to prosecute heresy in all forms. Yes.
Can I take that as...
Wrong voice.
Can I take that as you accepting my challenge?
I'm going to have to rerun this thing at some point to get shots of her because now you're giving me ideas for emotes. Oh, hang on. I gotta make a note. Yeah, no. Now I have ideas. You can tell she's Manfred's young whippersnapper. Bomb. Once again, whatever makes you happy.
Well then, let us begin the investigation, shall we? I'm going to find the perfect evidence and readily present it like the professional I am.
Competing to discover the truth behind a crime. How delightfully childish.
You kids over there, hold it.
Kid?
Serves your height, Miles. He just called you a kid. I said kids, kid. How dare you call me a kid as well? I'll do what I please, and I won't allow you to cause a ruckus on my crime scene. Hey, big guy. You're gonna watch over these two.
Well, yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir. Now, do what I say from now on, kids, okay?
You better not get in our face, Scuffy. No, bad Scruffy. That's Gumshoe. You'll feel the bite of my whip if you do.
Then you prosecute a boy. Let's get your investigation started already, alright?
Great, now even that detective's treating me like a child.
Alright, time to get investigating. Get the move on, prosecutor boy.
My name is Miles Edgeworth, and believe me, I'm going to be deducting many salaries from you in the future. For this moment. And if you were to call me Prosecutor Boy one more time, it would be my duty as a prosecutor to look into your monthly salary.
Yeah, what? Yeah, what would you do with my salary after you saw how much it was?
That's up to you now, isn't it?
Oh, really? Yeah, sounds good, pal.
He is so naive.
Good lord.
Detective Bad, may I have a word with you?
What is it?
It appears that both the knife and the gun were used as murder weapons.
Yep, it does.
That leads us to our first question of the investigation. Where did the men acquire the weapons?
The gun was inside of Faraday's bag. This piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. It was used to kill the Cadopian Embassy staff member. But I never heard anything about the knife. Mr. Bell was being held by the police. There's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start as well.
It's a very pretty knife.
Could it have been a piece of evidence that had yet to be presented? Then why doesn't Detective Bad know about it? Wait, what if... It's possible that Mr. Faraday brought the knife in under the guise of prosecutorial evidence. He could have then brought it out and attacked Mr. Rell with it.
Huh. Maybe you got a brain in there after all, kid.
Is he gonna treat me like a child forever?
Why the murder still have bullets in it? Well, it might not have at one point. May have acquired some sense.
Looks like Mr. Faraday attacked Mr. Bell first, who then counterattacked. It's the only logical conclusion you can draw from a scene like this one.
Not yet. I feel it's much too early to be drawing conclusions already. I must first find conclusive evidence so as to protect the honor of the Von Karma name.
What little honor it might have. And I'm going to save, and I'm going to go grab some ibuprofen, because holy shit, neck is really stiff today, which usually is not a problem when I do the standing desk for streams, so give me just a moment to go grab that, and a fresh drink, and I will be right back.
My cute. Oh, that's too much.
Well, hopefully that won't take too long to kick in. Wait, what? What the Wait a minute, is that... Really? The moment I walk away? God damn it. Thank you, Anonymous Gifter, for the 100 gift sub nuke, apparently the moment I turned my back. Which I suspect actually just unlocked us a new animated emote slot. Because we got a new emote slot at 2000. 2100 was supposed to be a new animated one. So we might have just acquired an additional slot to work with. Thank you very much for that. Alright, let's continue on. Time to poke around at things. Well, I mean, we might just start with the body.
It looks like Mr. Faraday fell on top of Mr. Rell. At first glance, it seems like they must have killed each other. However...
Not using logic. The only logical conclusion is... Aha!
What was that outburst for?
Ah, my detective instinct just hit me real hard. It was Rel that fell first, see?
You don't need a detective's instinct for that. It's common sense. But I suppose you won't know much more than that until after I examine the bodies.
You get a Francisco whipping gif? Maybe.
I want Rest Love inspected, yep, nooks and crannies time. Let's start with a gun.
No, I've seen Mr. Faraday die while holding the gun in his right hand.
So he shot Mr. Rel and then fell on top of him while still gripping onto the gun?
I guess it does seem kind of strange, huh? I mean, how would Mr. Faraday know how to fire a gun?
It's not exactly rocket science. Even I know how to pull a trigger. Although I doubt I'll ever need to use one.
I hope I never have to fire a gun either, pal. But it sure does look cool to hold a gun in your hands.
It appears the police's screening procedures need a thorough review. Anyway, I should jot down some more notes about the handgun in Mr. Faraday's hand. Alright, found in his hand. Faraday's evidence.
Actually, Mr. Rel died with a knife in his hand.
There's some blood stuck on it.
Hey, must have used this as a weapon. Yep, no doubt about it.
Was Mr. Faraday carrying this on his personage? Did he bring this as a piece of evidence for the trial? Or did he bring it with a very different intention in mind? I should jot some notes down about it. What do we got? Believe Faraday brought this as evidence. It was found in Rel's hand. And we got a couple of evidence bags. It looks like we have a bunch of them. Why are there plastic bags scattered all around?
No, it's bags for keeping evidence safe, pal.
I know that much, detective.
Oh, you're sure good at this stuff, aren't you, pal?
Normally, I'd be happy when someone compliments me, but when it's this guy... Anyway, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight between the two men? Plastic bags used to store evidence strewn all over the floor. Something on his hand.
Well, his hand's all black down here, see? I wonder what it could be.
If you look closely, this blotching pattern resembles an ink stain. Mr. Faraday has ink on his left hand. Why is there ink in such a place anyway?
Ah, an ink stain?
This blood in the bad on the inside? That's kind of what it looks like, right? Which makes me think that possibly when the knife was originally recovered from whatever murder it was potentially used for, it was just put in the bag immediately, which means it still had blood on it. Yes, I usually get ink on my own hand when I use my feather pen.
Now, feather pen? Nah, I've never seen one before. Sure you ain't just making it up, pal.
Mr. Mill's cause of death was from being shot, correct?
Yeah, that's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him lying face down.
Death is bad enough, but it's truly lamentable that someone would try to hide the truth.
You sure they were trying to hide something?
I can't confirm Mr. Mill's cause of death with his body positioned like that. Detective Bad, I'd like to examine the bodies in further detail if possible.
What is this? You're not able to form a theory with them the way they are?
I believe an examination of the bodies is vital to finding the perfect evidence. Don't you?
I suppose you do have a point. Well, hurry up and get on with it.
Larry.
Oh, yes, sir. We've taken enough photos of the scene, sir. I've been standing here doing it the whole time. Don't worry.
And there you have it.
Do you not approve?
Of course not.
What?
Investigation of a crime scene is the work of a detective, so don't touch a thing. Hey, big fella, turn over the bodies for me, will you?
Okay. Please forgive me, Mr. Faraday, sir.
Gumshoe, do not get emotionally involved. Remember, you're a detective.
Yes, sir, understood, sir. You gotta think about blood, sir.
Alright, time for more inspections. There is a pen in his pocket. There's something in his breast pocket. And it's a fountain pen. An especially nice nib, apparently.
Nah, you know, I always keep a pencil behind my ear. And it's because Detective Bad is always telling me, you should always write your name on everything you own.
Yeah, somehow you do strike me as quite a forgetful individual.
Yeah, there's a knife wound in his chest here, see?
I wonder if the wound matches the knife Mr. Rell's holding.
Labby,
Yes, sir. Verifying now, sir.
make it quick.
On the look of things, one could deduce that the knife Mr. Rell is holding is what killed Mr. Faraday. It looks like Mr. Faraday was stabbed with this knife that Mr. Rell is holding.
Ouch.
Oh, what's wrong, Detective?
Yeah, my stomach's set to hurt from just thinking about being stabbed.
Just keep your mind on the case, alright?
Hey, Felly, how's it going?
First he killed a Cadopian embassy staff member, and then he was murdered himself.
This guy wasn't exactly an angel, you know?
And what makes you say that?
Yeah, well, he's been hauled into the precinct several times for a theft and assault, pal. So yeah, he's definitely the type to have committed a murder or two.
Well, he did admit to killing Mr. Deadman.
Hey, good point, pal. I know my detective's intuition was telling me something.
Detective's intuition?
Yeah, hey, you know about it? It's a special feeling that all detectives...
We don't have time for this conversation right now. Let's return to the investigation. Okay, bye.
Doing good, relaxing, good. Glad to hear it.
Mr. Faraday, how ironic it is for him to lose his life in a courthouse.
Yeah, why'd it have to be like this? I don't know what to say. I can't believe this happened while I was on watch, pal.
Rather than beating yourself up, you should spend your time continuing the investigation.
Oh, we tested by just casually shoving the knife in the hole. That was kind of my first thought, too. It's like, make it quick. Okay.
Yeah, it fits.
Hey, Hopsinka. Enjoy the science mug and emotes.
There have been a lot of those happening at random lately, apparently. Didn't you become a detective in order to solve crimes?
Well, it fits now.
Oh, hooray!
What? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Then get back to work. Find out the cause of his murder.
Right. I'm on it, pal.
Mr. Faraday's holding a gun in his right hand. Ah. He's holding a gun in his right hand. Wasn't the, I can't look at it from here. But the ink was on his left hand, wasn't it? So that implies that he's left-hand dominant, not right-hand dominant, so it's unlikely he would have been shooting with his right hand.
Nah, so Mr. Raw got blown away by, right?
Not interested in TwitchCon? No, I like my life COVID and norovirus free, thanks.
Labby, your answer.
Yes, sir. We found that the ballistic markings do match that gun.
Oh, ballistic markings are
Are the figurative fingerprints a gun leaves on a bullet when fired. Every gun leaves its own unique ballistic markings. Therefore, by looking at the markings on the bullet, you can tell which gun it came from.
yeah, that's it. Of course, I already knew all about that, pal.
Maybe you're better off going back to the academy.
Come on, sir. Cut me some slack, will ya?
So the bullet that was fired from this gun is what felled Mr. Rell.
Just afraid of con artists.
Oh, no. No, the last time I was at TwitchCon was pre-COVID for, I think, the 2018 one? Yeah, I think 2018 was the last time I went. Been a long time. The people I'd like to see, but I don't like large group gathering events. I've managed to avoid COVID the entire time. I have no interest in changing that. Besides, I used all my vacation time this year on a 2-month trip to Japan, so got all out. I don't think. Oh, we haven't actually. No, we have looked at. Haven't looked at the bullet hole itself. There we go. Shot in the chest.
Might take some guts to fire a gun in a courthouse. I mean, I've been a detective for a whole week and I still haven't fired a single round yet.
There aren't any burn marks on his clothes. That must mean.
Now wait, burn marks?
A round grows very hot as it's discharged from a firearm. Therefore, burn marks are usually left when a shot is fired from point-blank range. Ergo, that's only like half true. Normally it's the powder bird is what we're talking about here. Ergo, Mr. L must have been shot from at least a yard or two away. Yes, I did also post vacation photos for the entire 2 months. So many photos. Alright, bullet that killed Rel was fired from a few yards away.
Nice, sure do a bunch of neat stuff for your age, pal.
Apparently this detective has as much common knowledge as your everyday marsupial. Now let us try to understand how the two men died. First, Mr. Faraday took the gun and knife out from today's trial evidence. Then he aimed the gun at Mr. Rel and fired. However, Mr. Rel managed to grab the knife and counter Mr. Faraday while being shot. And the two men fell together where they stood. That is my theory in any case.
Yeah, what a crazy way to go.
Still, something about the explanation just doesn't seem right. Crime scene notes happen, jot it down. I believe I now have a firmer grasp on what happened here. Oh, my thing is super stiff today, sorry. I think I need to just, like, really crack it, like, snap it all the way back around. There's some plastic bags stacked up on the table. There's a tea set too, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of a disturbance.
Yeah, table's all neat and tidy.
Meaning there was no commotion.
Maybe, they were super quiet in this scuffle.
Shh, don't make any noise. Just let me shoot you. Oh god, I'm gonna get stabbed.
After all, I didn't hear anything from out in the hallway, you know?
Maybe the plastic bags scattered on the floor are throwing us off. Let's see. Ink on his left hand. I want to see if I can throw the fountain pen and the ink together, because it might help solidify that he's left-hand dominant specifically, which will help go against the gun being held in his right hand. That splotch on Mr. Faraday's hand. I wonder if it might be the ink from his fountain pen.
Oh, that's the lab guy.
Detective Gumshoe, I confirm the substance on Mr. Faraday's hand is the ink from his fountain pen.
Mercy, good work. I've always wanted to say that. Maybe it was just one time in my life.
If Mr. Faraday wrote with his fountain pen in his left hand, I think it's fair to assume he was left-handed. Now, we do need to rule out ambidexterity, but I don't think they're going to ask us about that. Or they'll throw it at us later as a twist. It appears that Mr. Faraday's pen is very important to our case as well.
Okay, yeah, if you say so, pal.
Gumshoe, did you guest star in Donkey Kong? Because you kind of look good. You look the part. Alright, used by the left-handed Faraday as our update.
Yeah, some stuff in the bag, pal.
I suppose this was Mr. Faraday's bag. I'd like Gumshoe throw some barrels. You could manage it. It's probably the trial evidence I was supposed to collect from him.
Ah, this is the evidence? Huh, I better not touch it. I'll leave prints on it.
Do you just not pay attention to anything you do?
No, I don't. Whoa!
What is it, Detective Gumshoe?
My TV at home is so tiny compared to this one, pal.
Then perhaps you should purchase a more normal-sized television like this one?
Oh, let me see here. Wow, no, this thing is huge. Man. Damn, way too noisy.
You wasn't noisy one, Scoffy. Don't touch it. You'll get your fingerprints all over it.
Ah, but I didn't touch it.
Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work.
The foundation, huh? Sounds like something the rookie here needs to shore up on. The TV has been left on.
Ah, why are you looking at me like that? Yeah, it wasn't me. I didn't touch anything.
Gumshoe, you do know what will happen to you if you touch something again? Right?
I won't touch anything. I won't even go anywhere near the TV star. Yeah, and you, go get back to your investigation, all right?
I was planning to do so anyway.
I'm curious, though.
The window is open and there's a fresh flowery scent in the air.
Yeah, flowers in the garden down there are so gross and ghastly.
Do you think maybe you could try offering something useful for a change?
Ah, at least there's no way someone escaped through the window, pal. I wouldn't wake up and smell the flowers after a fall from the 3rd floor.
Are you willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars on the windows?
No human can climb through the barred windows. The scent of flowers is in the air.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's that too. Either way, no one can get through the windows, right? I mean, maybe a really thin dude. Like that guy Zero.
They thought of everything when they were designing this courthouse. Very nice.
Except for how to avoid situations like this, right here.
Why are the plastic bags scattered all around?
Ah, bags for keeping evidence safe, pal.
I know that much, detective. We've been over it.
Yeah, good at this stuff, aren't you?
Anyway, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight between the two men?
Okay. And a plant.
The decorative plant's foliage is quite nice. It's actually soothing to be around it. Perhaps I should purchase one for my room.
Meanwhile, Gumshoe.
You can afford plants? Wow.
Ah, I see.
Did you figure something out?
This is a competition, Miles, and as such, I would appreciate it if you did not talk to me.
As you wish. Detective Bad, do you have any thoughts on the case?
It ain't real. Looks like they killed each other to me. Although, there are a few things that just don't seem right.
And what would they be?
Why don't you try to take it on your own first before you bother me, boy?
Well, now I've been downgraded to just boy.
Everyone's so kind to us. Alright, I think I've... Oh, no, not quite everything.
It looks like the sofa's ready to be disposed of.
Ah, so stuffed. I could sleep for all 25 hours of the day on this thing.
If only I could dispose of him.
Well, then we'd have a slightly different trial going on, wouldn't we? Alright, think of interact with all things then. Alright, neat and tidy table and the plastic bag strewn about. Kind of want to poke at the two things together because they kind of contradict each other. Implies that the plastic bags on the floor are actually staged.
There is a very tiny pile of plastic bags on the table, and yet a portion of them wound up scattered on the floor as well. It's not likely the ones on the floor were knocked over during a struggle.
Yeah, we get the origin story for potted plant.
In which case, might there not be another explanation as to how they got there?
Another reason?
I believe it's possible the blood on the outside of the bag is related somehow.
Oh, that is on the outside.
Please get the blood away from me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe, whose blood is on this bag?
Hold on. Let me ask the lab guy.
Alright, please hurry. While I stand here and sing the Jeopardy theme song.
Yeah, where'd they get a load of this, pal? It's Mr. Faraday's. Oh, and the technician said they didn't find anything else on or in the bag either.
It would appear this bag is a very important piece of evidence.
Nah, okay, if you say so. I leave it in your hands, pal.
One of the bags, strewn on the floor of lobby number 2, has Faraday's blood on it. But there wasn't blood around it.
I guess there's not much left to investigate, huh? Yeah, they really did kill each other.
No, we can't conclude that quite yet. There's still something I find very peculiar here. The theory that they simply killed one another is too simplistic in this case. In fact, there is actually a contradiction that shows there is another possibility.
Nah, no way, pal, really?
I suppose I'll just have to show you the contradiction in this crime scene.
Oh, I think we're going for the right-hand gun now. So, right-hand gun, left-hand Faraday. I believe that's the only I think that's the only thing that calls out the left hand. Now we come face to face with the contradiction I spoke of, and it is this. What? Why are you thumbs downing the current game, Reaper? What? Mr. Faraday used his left hand to write with his fountain pen. Ergo, he is left-handed. And yet the handgun is in his right hand. Don't you find it odd that the left-handed Mr. Faraday would hold the gun in his right hand? That, lady and gentlemen, is the great contradiction haunting this crime scene.
Ah, hey, you're right, pal. That does seem kind of strange. But, how could something like that happen?
The facts add up to one conclusion, and one alone. Someone else put the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand after he died. Not enough right Edgeworth fanfiction in the game. God damn it. If it was fanfiction, it wouldn't be in the game, would it?
Someone else?
Plastic bags scattered on the floor and a gun in the wrong hand. I sense the presence of a shadowy figure behind this case. A person of vile intent who is serious about keeping the truth from us.
How's that, Francesca?
September 10th, District Court. Defendant lobby number 2, but no timestamp.
Here's the autopsy report. It is probable that Mr. Hell survived for a short time after he was shot. However, Mr. Faraday died instantly from his stabbing. Interesting.
Okay.
It looks like we now know everything we need to know about this case.
Are you sure we know everything?
Of course. The incident began with Mr. Faraday attempting to get his revenge. The prosecutor went into a rage from being accused and tried to kill the defendant. But the defendant fought back, and they ended up killing each other. It is all very clear and simple. There's absolutely no margin for doubt.
Do you really believe that to be the truth? It could absolutely be in the game, just need a nerdy shutting character that's seen them interact. You know, I think I brought enough of those in chat to the game. It doesn't need any itself. Yes, we are showing a 13-year-old vampire daughter a corpse. I mean, she's used to it. Dad's a vampire. Already a corpse, right? She does not have a tiny whip. That is a riding crop.
Are you saying that just because I figured out the truth before you? That you don't want to believe it is true? It is alright. If you disagree with my argument, then prove me wrong. Well, if there are any contradictions to be found, that is.
Don't worry, I will. What happened?
Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, while Mr. Rell survived for a short time. From this, it is obvious Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rell. And Mr. Rell, while on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him.
Well, there's a small problem there. Ish. I mean, you could potentially argue that the corpses speak against that by virtue of Rell being under him, but technically all they really said was that the stabbing was instantaneous death, which doesn't mean he couldn't have stabbed him, fallen over at the same time, and basically wound up in that pile.
Those are the facts of this case.
Mr. Faraday's death was instantaneous, therefore he must have attacked first. Proving that logic to be false is probably the fastest way to show her that she's wrong. So, Faraday didn't attack first. Other than gunshot, no sign of a struggle. Alright, so time of death, 4 p.m. Immediately after gunshot was heard. Died of knife stab to chest, shock from the stabbing caused instantaneous death. Died of bullet wound to the chest, no gunpowder burn, so he shot from a few yards away. Possibly was alive for a while after being shot. Technically, the positioning of the corpses does not necessarily go against that. She is a terrifying teen. And Gumshoe just said that he never heard a struggle. Still, the fact that the gun is in his non-dominant hand is kind of weird in the first place, especially if he was the one who opened fire first. Because it's not like he necessarily would have panic-grabbed a gun in the wrong hand or something in that case. In that case, I should first look for any holes in her theory. Alright. Let's press the small vampire child. Alright, Faraday's death instantaneous, Rel survived. Do you truly believe that Mr. Faraday died instantaneously?
I have another report right here. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously of shock due to being stabbed in the chest. There, you see, it has been documented clear as day.
Oh yeah, so it has.
From this, it is obvious Mr. Faraday died after he shot Mr. Rel.
I mean, I'll press on that, but that doesn't seem really wrong at all. Mr. Faraday shot Mr. L before he died? Oh, actually, there is one thing that, well, I don't know if it's how they want to use it necessarily, but the fact that there's, blood on this, but there was no blood anywhere else around it. I never actually looked at it. Blood here's from Mr. Faraday, but there are no other clues to be found. Which begs the question, do I need to put this bag inside another bag in order to preserve it as evidence? Oh, asking the hard questions. Please stick the evidence bag in the evidence bag. Do you have any basis for that statement?
Foolishness has no end, does it? Now, I hate to repeat myself, however. Mr. Faraday died instantaneously? That is all the basis I need?
Alright, so Mr. Faraday died instantaneously. Then he must have attacked Mr. L before being stabbed.
You're finally beginning to catch on, I see.
Mr. L, on the brink of death, stole Mr. Faraday's knife and stabbed him.
Hold it!
So you believe that the dying Mr. L stole the knife from Mr. Faraday?
Mr. L became desperate as he did not want to die. Human beings can do amazing things when they are put to the test. So, the two men struggled, and in the end, Mr. L was able to grab the knife and stab Mr. Faraday.
No struggle. Alright, so that's what we're going after.
The messy condition of this room is a testament to the struggle.
What, the room's in good condition now.
Yes, my logic is perfectly sound.
Can you really say that it's perfect?
What are you insinuating?
Oh, nothing. However, I can't let what you said slide by without further inquiry. One must be clear and precise, so if you could append that statement to your testimony...
Fine. They struggled, and Mr. L used the last of his strength to counterattack Mr. Faraday.
Well, where's the testimony? There was no sign of... No sound of a struggle. I think that's what we're going to do, is go with Gumshoe. Though it's... Using Gumshoe for anything seems like a terrible idea.
Objection!
Oh, God, the winking finger wag, you're right. He is so much more cocksure when he's this young. If the two men were fighting, their struggle would have surely caused quite a bit of noise. However, Detective Gumshoe testified that he heard absolutely nothing.
You place too much faith in that detective's testimony, you know.
Yeah.
But for the sake of argument, let's say there wasn't a fight. How then did Mr. L get his hands on the knife?
Mr. Faraday's bag was sitting right here in lobby number 2. It's not hard to imagine that perhaps Mr. L saw a chance and took it out at some point.
So, what you're saying is this. Mr. L took a chance when he saw the opportunity and took the knife from the bag. And then Mr. Faraday shot Mr. L after being stabbed?
Isn't there something strange in Francisca's statement just now? No, as she repeated over and over again, died instantly from the stabbing. So, could not shoot after being stabbed. Wait, something doesn't add up.
Oh, really?
It's simply not possible for Mr. Faraday to have shot Mr. L after being stabbed. Where's my autopsy results? Yeah, okay, those are the crime scene notes.
Take that!
According to the coroner's report, Mr. Faraday died instantaneously, as you let me know repeatedly during the pressing. Meaning that he died immediately upon being stabbed by the knife.
Ergo, he could not possibly have fired the gun after that.
Oh, you got me.
But of course.
Well then, if the report is correct, then there is only one correct explanation. If we suppose that Mr. Hell attacked first, then Mr. Faraday, who died instantaneously, would have been unable to kill Mr. Hell. Therefore, Mr. Hell must have stabbed Mr. Faraday after he was shot, and then they both died. That is the only explanation that makes logical sense.
Negating your opponent's ideas in order to prove your own theory. I see you've been studying, Francisco.
I just wanted to explain it to you as simply as possible. Before you foolishly propose a foolish theory that only a foolish fool like you could.
How naive of you to believe that only your opinions are valid, and still expect to discover the truth that the crime scene offers you. Francisco, you've still got a ways to go.
What are you talking about? Are you saying there's a flaw in my logic?
Mr. Faraday died instantly, and the fact that he did is what gives rise to the contradiction in this scene. The contradiction here in this crime scene is,
if it's Faraday's blood, then it has to be the evidence bag's location. I'm assuming that's the one we're referring to. Well, you could go with the order the bodies fell, arguably. But the fact that it's on the ground, has blood on it that is his. Basically, how did it get from the table to there if there's no struggle and he died immediately after being stabbed, right? That is one option here. I don't know if they're going for that or if they're going to go for the kind of just straight the order the bodies fell thing. Because the thing is, technically, they said the dude lived long enough after being shot to potentially stab him, but it doesn't mean he didn't stab him on his way down, you know? But I feel like... No, I feel like I'm thinking too far ahead and they're actually going for the bodies. I could totally see stabbing the dude on the way down, hitting the floor before him, and then landing on top of him, right? But I don't think they're playing it that way.
let me get this straight. What you are arguing is this. Mr. Faraday took the gun from his evidence bag and shot Mr. Rell. Then the wounded Mr. Rell found an opportunity to take the knife and strike back. Upon being stabbed, Mr. Faraday died on the spot and Mr. Rell died thereafter. If that's the case, then how do you explain this? Take a good look at the order in which their bodies are piled.
No. 9. The teenage smug. I know, actually, I really like the chemistry of, like, the younger versions of them squaring off. It's actually really cool.
Mr. Faraday's body is lying on top of Mr. Rell's. Therefore, he's the top. Mr. Rell must have died before Mr. Faraday.
Impossible.
Yes, I agree that it seems strange no matter what angle you approach it from. Which means that the real mystery behind this crime scene that we must solve is...
9. Not so fast, Miles Edgeworth.
I don't know what you're talking about, Luna. What now?
I simply think you ought to think a bit more outside the box. And that is even clearer now that the incident started with Mr. Faraday's murderous intent.
She sure bounced back quickly. An explanation won't be enough this time. It's going to take some very decisive evidence to prove her wrong.
What happened? Part 2! It was just chance that Mr. Faraday's body fell on top of Mr. Rell's. The two bodies fell into a pile, which indicates they attacked each other at the same time. Ah, okay, so we're probably going to be going for the but he was shot from too far away for it to have been at the exact same time kind of deal. It really doesn't matter in the slightest that they fell in the opposite order.
I just know that Francisca's explanation isn't absolutely correct. All I have to do is find a hole in her logic. Once I do, I can then present her with the evidence that proves the contradiction.
Alright, I'm going to do the pressing just in case I'm misreading.
Hold it!
Objection!
Yeah, about that. Pressing someone's testimony in order to gain some time to think. You're a real one-trick pony, aren't you? It's too bad your trick only works on fools. Okay, alright, she got me on this one.
That wasn't my intent. I simply wish for more details as to how Mr. Faraday ended up on top of Mr. Rell.
Oh wow, that is a quote for the night, Quatorius. Thank you. Oh god, it's one of those horrible giant steel dildos.
Someone's impatient. I was just about to explain everything to you. So do you think you could hold on for a minute?
Franziska, I'll make you a deal. I'll hold on if you hold on to the whip of yours.
Oh, I will hold on to it all right, as I whip you. Abuse? Yeah, now that you have quieted down a bit, I'd like to continue if you don't mind.
The two bodies fell into a pile. I'm gonna press it and see if she hits me again. The two fell on top of each other, and don't you find that to be just a bit strange?
Not at all.
Oh. I can see it in her eyes. She's dead set against me from the bottom of her heart.
As Edgeworth, what's happened here? You will see that there's nothing strange at all. Now then, the two men fell into a pile, which indicates they attacked each other at the same time.
I'm not even gonna press it. I'm gonna go with the gut, which says now what did I use for the? Okay, there we go. Bullet that killed Rel was fired from a few yards away.
Objection!
There is a clear contradiction in your line of logic.
And where, pray tell, will that contradiction be?
I guess it's not that then. Maybe nowhere?
Exactly.
Could I have it all wrong? I guess I should have pushed it after all. At this rate, I'll lose the truth for all eternity. I had to pay more attention to her testimony.
Hold it!
What do you mean by they attacked each other at the same time?
I assume Mr. Faraday had the two different weapons in his hands. He made to attack Mr. L while holding both the knife and the revolver. And then,
It's not a revolver, honey. That's not a revolver.
after Mr. Faraday fired the gun, Mr. L grabbed the knife as he was falling and stabbed Mr. Faraday. This is how Mr. L wound up on the bottom as Mr. Faraday on top.
Yes, you're very innocent. We'll just keep it that way.
At close range, that is more than possible.
At close range. See, that's the thing I'm hung up on. Yes, it's possible, but...
Well, if you have any other ideas, then show me what you've got.
Oh, I will. And to that extent, I'd like for you to append what you just said to your testimony. God damn it, I should have pressed it is the right thing, just...
I don't see any point to that, but as you please.
Attacked each other at the same time from close range. Meh, thanks.
Objection!
Don't whip me this time. So you believe they killed each other at close range? I'm sorry, but that's impossible. And just as it's written in the crime scene notes, the firing of the handgun did not leave a gunpowder burn on Mr. Rel's clothes. Therefore, Mr. Rel and the gun must have been separated by a distance of at least 2 or 3 yards. He said 1 or 2 originally, but I guess we're just going to exaggerate now. For effect. She's so cute when she's in pain. Yes, this is by far the biggest contradiction. The two bodies are piled up on each other, yet the gun was fired from a distance. And with there being no chance that Mr. Rel moved that far after being shot, that leaves only one possible explanation. Social distance killing? Exactly.
What a completely foolish line of foolish thought from a thoroughly foolish fool. If I am not right, then who was it that made the first move with the intent to kill him? Who?
The person that attacked first with murderous intent? That would be neither man. Here in this room, contradictions appear no matter which man we claim attacked first. Thus, there can be only one explanation. There was a third person here. It was that third person who killed both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. And also, I realized that I'm kind of bullying a 13-year-old girl during all this, which is a little uncomfortable. And set their bodies up to make it look like a double murder. And that third person is the real culprit.
Miles Edgeworth, there's just one thing you're missing.
She'll have it come a bit in the future. Well, yeah, in the future, though. You know, maybe if we hadn't bullied her when she was 13, she wouldn't have come after us with a whip when she was older.
Evidence, correct?
Exactly. Everything you have said up until now is nothing but a story played out in your head.
That seems to be the way for most of my cases.
However, this is where the real test begins. Can you prove there was a third person involved in the crime scene? Or in this crime, in general?
That you're also whipping you with a riding crop?
Yeah, but there's a... I mean...
Yeah, that's what spankings are for. Of course. If a third person was truly here, that fact would resolve the glaring contradiction. The proof that this has all been a setup made to look like they killed each other. I'll present it and lay bare the final piece of the puzzle that's not yet in place. Please tell me this is the wrong gun hand. What is the piece of evidence that proves there is a third person involved? I don't know if they're going to go for the blood. It's still bothering me that there's blood on the bag, but like not around it at all. But the pen, the fact that he's left-handed and the gun was in his right hand, I want to say, feels like the most damning thing. Because that's an easy mistake to make, right? The majority of people are right-handed. It's an easy assumption.
Take that!
This is that very evidence. I guess not.
And how exactly is this related?
Oh shit, you're gonna hit me.
Do you think you could explain it to me?
There is no need for an explanation. Oh wow, we're doubling down. Yep, this is it. It's totally it. Have a good night, Arma. Rest well.
Nah, well, I have no idea how it's related, so could you please explain to me?
Yes, well,
Let me guess. You cannot explain it, can you?
I like that progression. And at times with the HP damage, nice. It would appear that I was wrong. There's definitely a contradiction here. And it should resolve itself if there truly was a third person. Oh shit. Oh, nearly reached 90% accidentally. My prosecutor's badge is the answer. Oh, I wonder... I'm going after the right thing, but I actually need to use the gun. Because it does say found in... It just says found in Faraday's hand, though, not found in his right hand. Let's do a quick double check. I really feel like it's got to come down to the hand, so I'm actually going to... I'm going to risk getting whipped again and go for the handgun. I assume that the fact that the fountain pen was specifically left-handed would lead into that, but... If that is the right line of thought, maybe I'm using the wrong thing for it. That really... This still bugs me, too. Please don't whip me. The gun in Mr. Faraday's hand and the plastic bag with his blood on it. These two items point to the presence of a third person. Oh, I wonder if I could have used the bag there after all, then. Presenting the badge will make her pass out in envy. Ha ha ha! We win. Hey, Circular, how's it going? How so? Recall Detective Gumshoe's testimony?
Yeah, I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle.
If there wasn't a struggle in this room, then there shouldn't be any plastic bags on the ground, meaning that someone else must have deliberately scattered them around. Do you not see the possibility in this? I think that's one of my favorite poses, actually, for him. You know what? I'll take the quote, Circular. I'm gonna risk getting whipped again and go for the gun. It's always better with no context. Disregarding the gun for the moment, there's a high probability of blood spatter when a knife is used on a person. If the culprit held the knife with a plastic bag around it, they could have used the bag to catch any blood spatter from when they withdrew the knife. Then, by spreading a few more plastic bags around, mixing the bloody one in with them, and arranging the room to make it look like there was a struggle between the two, they were able to conceal their presence. I suppose that's an interesting way to look at it.
Well, looks like we still got a long way to go in this investigation.
Yes.
Objection!
From whom? Oh god, the judge looks angry.
What the heck's up with you, pal?
Mr. Bad, I advise you to place Detective Gumshoe under arrest.
What? Yeah.
Sorry, it's just fun to make silly noises for. Oh my god, we are almost at 1,000 quotes.
What's the meaning of this?
Looks like you're not man enough to discipline your own subordinates.
Don't you dare.
That detective claims he was there standing in front of the door the entire time. But I have it on good authority that it was all a giant lie. Miss Yu, I ask that you please explain that last statement. Yeah, the judge, not in his seat. He moves. He has legs. I always assumed he just sort of was attached to the pews. Just, you know. I'll let his honor explain it himself.
I saw with my own eyes, I tell you. During the recess, there was a period of time when there was no one in the hallway.
What?
See, Mr. Bad. So I ask you, why would a detective who was supposedly doing his job the whole time want to fabricate such a lie?
Because he needed his instant noodles?
Gumshoe, did you kill Faraday?
No. Yeah, of course not, sir.
If it appears that the one who sets this whole crime scene up is that detective, which basically renders his testimony a complete lie and wholly invalid. It looks like your perfect logic has just come tumbling down, Miles. Yeah, it kinda has.
I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle.
Was that statement really a lie?
Detective Gumshoe, you're now a suspect in the murder of 2 men. I spit out the truth, or so help me.
I would like anyone, sir. Honest. No, really was there. I was in the hallway the whole time.
Hold it!
Detective Bad, I ask that you please do not act without my permission. After all, I am the one that is heading up this investigation, am I not?
Don't talk like you know what's going on, boy. Seriously, you, me, parking lot out back. Like 5 minutes.
All I want is for this investigation to run perfectly.
Perfection is the only wish of a discipline of Ankama, after all.
Therefore, before you take Detective Gumshoe into custody, I'd like to set the record straight on something.
And what's that?
What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? The state of the hallway. Detective Gumshoe, I take it that no one else was in the hallway at any time, correct?
Huh? Of course not, pal.
You're being awfully defensive. Might you be hiding something from me?
Yeah, watch your mouth, pal. You can't go around saying stuff like that about me without any evidence.
That's lewd and I'll allow it. I suppose you're right. I have no evidence at this point.
How's Edgeworth? How can you be losing a battle of wits with this detective? You're a disgrace.
Why am I being hit? Maybe I should ask about something else. What should I ask Detective Gumshoe about? Well, why weren't you supposed to be in the hallway? But he's just going to say that he was. Detective Gumshoe, why were you missing from the hallway for a span of time?
Yeah, look, pal, like I said, I was there the whole time, okay?
Well, there's testimony against you that...
Edgeworth, why are you wasting our time with a completely useless question?
The only logical reason as to why he was absent is that he was busy committing the crime.
Anyone who says otherwise is a fool.
She's tearing me apart, I love it. I suppose the one thing I'd like clarified is Detective Gumshoe's motive for committing this crime. It's the thing we should have asked about first, but like, I don't expect real logic or procedure to matter much. You know? I mean, for fuck's sake, we put parrots on the stand. I haven't recused myself from murders that I've been accused of committing. Like, now is the one time I should have actually done it.
Motive, huh? Gumshoe, you got a grudge against Faraday or anything?
No, sir, not me. Not a single bad thing against Mr. Faraday, sir.
Is that a fact?
Man, he's terrifying.
Objection!
You really have a problem with lying, don't you, Detective Gumshoe?
I'm telling you, I am not lying.
The more natural you act, the more suspicious you become, you know.
I always act this way.
If you want a motive, Edgeworth, I have one for you right here. Could you please share it with us? However, be forewarned that I won't hesitate to object to flights of fancy. Because all I'm interested in is the perfect explanation. Oh, you're serious, aren't you? Fine. You amuse me, so I'll humor you with a little courtroom practice. Gumshoe's motive. Oh my god, if we hadn't already Valley Girled someone, this moment would make me want to Valley Girl her. It was about a week ago. I saw the detective get chewed out by a livid Faraday in front of the precinct. He stood there super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, you nitwit." A brand new detective suddenly getting his salary cut? That's reason enough for a grudge. Well, how's that for the perfect explanation?
Oh, you totally misunderstand me, pal. No matter how mad I get, I could never hold a grudge.
Quiet. Can't trust anything you say.
Sir.
There's nothing wrong with the motive she proposed per se, but there are some gaps in her logic that need to be filled in. Ms. Yu's perfect explanation may not be so perfect at all. It's just one of those nights, isn't it, Circular? I don't think there's any reason to press a week ago. Detective gets chewed out. This I do want to press, though.
Hold it!
Tonight's a knee slapper. Mr. Faraday was upset. Yeah. You know what else? Mr. Faraday isn't exactly known to get angry often. I'm dying here. There he was, totally beat red in the face. And the offending detective just stood there, pale as a ghost like he was about to die. Just like the face he's making now, right?
Nah, I'm completely innocent, I tell you.
This poor girl's just coming apart of the scenes. The poor man. And I will take that quote out of context too. Why not? I think she just goes like full emoticon face. Ahem. It was quite the scene with the detective. So they're super pale as Mr. Faraday yelled, "That's a salary cut for you, nitwit." Let's press on that. You just stood there watching this unfold in front of you? Yeah, I have to say it was really enjoyable too. But that's why when I saw Detective Gumshoe earlier, I knew to steer clear of him.
Oh, no way. Yeah, I thought it was because I had something stuck on my face.
But you do.
Oh, huh? What if I got stuck on my face?
Let's start with your eyes, nose, mouth. And those ridiculous eyebrows.
Eh?
Oh man, messing with your head is just too much fun. Miss Yu, if you don't mind, I'd like to return to your testimony now. Sure, why not? Brand new detective getting his salary cut, reason enough for a grudge. Present. To cut a new detective's salary right off the bat like that? I'm not really familiar with the way you guys relate, but is that a common practice?
Speaking of cutting my salary, didn't you try to do that to me earlier, too?
Oh, I guess it is I suppose I did. I guess it is a common practice. It is only natural to cut a worthless detective's salary down to the actual worth. Less. I Fosler can fire anyone, new or old, with a snap of his fingers. I've heard that snap. It could move mountains. Do you think that maybe that's reason enough for detectives to hate you people?
Well, I guess they really shouldn't cut people's pay.
Detective Bad, don't tell me Mr. Von Karma cut your salary earlier.
Why do we have any control over these people's salaries? That's terrible.
Hold it!
You call your explanation perfect? Is it not to your liking? Unfortunately for you, it's just not up to my standards. Oh, is there something you want me to clarify in that case?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? I don't have any specific objection, but I also don't really have anything I can throw at her, it doesn't feel like, so...
If you could clear this one thing up for me.
I mean, killing Rel could just be that he's there. But we did determine he was shot first, so that is a little bit weird. I'm gonna ask on that first, just because, like, if Faraday had been killed first, then I could see that being the thing. Like, he kills him, and Rel's also there, he's got to deal with him. But the fact that Rel was shot first.
I understand Detective Gumshoe's potential motive for killing Mr. Faraday. However, what about his motive for killing Mr. Rel?
His motive for killing Rel? Like I would know.
If there was no clear motive for both of the murders, then I doubt this incident would have occurred. Wouldn't you agree? Is there anyone else who might have had a grudge against either of the two men? Or should we look into that ourselves?
Oh, in that case, I have absolutely no idea.
What? That's impossible. She must know something.
Wait. Can you please not glare at me like that? It makes me laugh.
I kind of really like her. I didn't even do anything and you're already laughing away.
Well, anyway, the way I see it, as long as he had a motive to kill one of the two, this crime would have played out the way it did anyway.
Oh? Would you care to explain your logic? And this time, please try to provide a truly perfect explanation.
Perfect this, perfect that. Stop being so uptight, or is that a requisite trait for being a Von Karma?
Miss Edgeworth, I demand you shut this old woman up.
I wish you'd both be quiet for just 1 second.
Man, I know she's young and everything, but like, when you put her sprite next to his like that, wow. She looks super tiny. Like, I don't even believe she's standing next to him right now. I think she brought a box to stand on next to him.
Oh well, I guess I'll just have to explain it to you kids.
Motive to kill the men. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. All you really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rel, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other. Ah, but he was the first one shot.
I wonder if that's really true. Well, I guess that argument only necessarily works in the case of, No, that argument doesn't work. If the third person was Gumshoe and he does come in and kill them, then the gunshot could have happened second. I mean, it's his testimony in relation to the gunshot timing anyways, so that all kind of goes out the window. I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. Second KG8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member. And the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who's somehow related to them? Can I pull up my... I want to take a look at my stuff. So we have the incident overview. So... we know there's that guy.
And we know he was also here at some point. And he was being investigated, or well, prosecuted by Faraday the first time around. Do I actually get any details on him? Yeah, suspect in KG8. Oh my god, Tiny Von Karma picture. Man, he looks terrifying. And the unknown girl with the balloon. God, did we try to claim that Yatagarasu? Mr. Dead Man. We've had 2 dead embassy people. Yeah, the judge's age is unknown because he looks the same now as he does like every time we see him.
Hold it!
Alright, gonna do some pressing. So there's no one else who might have a grudge against both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel? I suppose no one is a bit of a stretch. But I'm pretty sure no one like that was here in this courthouse today. Okay, I think that's pointing us towards Mr. Cochin. She's lying through her teeth. We just saw someone like that here earlier. Besides, you don't need to prove that the killer had a grudge against both men. Yeah. Alright, I want to loop this around to the very first one. And then I think I should be able to, because we can't present profiles. The incident overview has Manny Coach in it, so we'll use that. Miss Yu, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up? What do you mean? We're looking for someone with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect in the original KG8 incident, and a member of the Kodopian embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. That's right, the very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. Bad legit looks like he belongs in a gritty 80s comic series, right? He looks kind of awesome. The man who killed a member of the Kodopian embassy staff, Mr. Rel. And the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both these men? Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two.
Ah, you covered for me, pal. Yeah, lifelong friend now. Yeah, maybe you're not such a bad guy after all.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You are still a suspect, make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony, these are the only things I wish to hold.
The perfect woman? But I didn't do it.
You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be very forgiving should any of this leak out.
You want to investigate Cochin? You just be wasting your time.
And why is that?
Cochin was up in the viewing gallery, watching the trial. Or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived.
Since the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe. No, Gumshoe were pretty bad. Run, Gumshoe, be free, right? I suppose so.
Ah, no way. Come on, Detective Bad. You gotta believe me, sir. That really was in the hallway the whole time, sir. I never took a single step into this room, sir.
Okay, are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway?
No. There was no one else, sir.
And why should I believe you didn't do it?
Isn't this one incredibly foolish detective? Standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It is as good as a confession of guilt. I have to admit it's a bit strange. Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent. You'd think he would at the very least offer up, I spaced out while on duty or the like.
Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation.
Wow. Detective Bad.
Man, the judge looks like he's just fuming.
Miss Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa. And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone? Oh, yeah.
So, I don't really have a case anymore then. His eyes bulge as he reaches inside his jacket is scary. He really does look like he's going for his gun every time. He looks so angry.
Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, Before we do, Miss Yu, there is something I'd like to speak with you about.
What is it? Stop laughing. Stop laughing at me.
Everything's neat and tidy on top of the table, with not a single disturbance in sight.
Those are the eyes of a man who's seen things.
So, what do you want to ask me about? In the current case of the murdered Cadopian Embassy staff member, I've heard that people began calling it the second KG-8 incident. Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it? I'd like you to tell me everything you know about the original KG-8 incident. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers. No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG-8 incident. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop with the false accusations. Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know? I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here.
Here we go again. Think you can stop me making that ultra-serious face in front of me?
Look, lady, this is just my face. If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second, maybe 2. I'm not gonna make any headway like this. I'm just gonna have to show her exactly how related to the KG-8 incident she is.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll just present her with the overview, because you can see the victim is CCU.
Miss Yu, I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KG-8 incident.
He's got the looks to make someone face justice.
Thank you for the bits, Bill.
The file is your proof? Very well then. But why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KG-8 incident?
Through the victim.
Your connection to the KG-8 incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case?
Oh boy.
Sorry, but we're not related. What?
Just kidding.
You asked that question with such a serious look on your face.
And I couldn't help but... fuck with you!
Miss Yu, I ask that you please tell me the truth. Alright, I'll tell you everything I know.
Alright, let's talk about KG-8.
As you guessed, the one who reported the smuggling activities of the Amino group was my sister CCU. As I thought. And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial. By Manny Kochin. But because he was tried once and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his cushy life completely carefree.
In the US we call that, what, double jeopardy, I think? You cannot be tried for the same crime twice.
All because of a lack of evidence.
Is her name laughing at you? Kinda starting to seem that way.
No, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist.
No, the AA universe also has double jeopardy? Apparently so.
What? I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Kochin's trial was over. Apparently a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence. Then the evidence that had been tampered with? Or had been tampered with? Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? The smuggling ring being run out of the Amino group by one of its secretaries. They bailed Mr. Kochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other all along. How big was the smuggling ring? Was it a large operation? I don't really know.
which is why I wanted to become the lead defense. On this case that people are calling the second KG-8 incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know.
You mean you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring?
I don't know what to think. Plus, you know, everyone's dead now.
Don't see too many anime tropes where the girl's quirk is she laughs weird. I'll give her that. The constant breaking. Well, actually, Yukiko. Absolutely, the first thing that comes to mind is Yukiko, P4.
Why did Mr. Koshin want to meet with you earlier?
Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently, he only found out that I was the defense lawyer on this case after he'd arrived.
Damn it, you're right. It's still not common, though.
He figured he should say hi, and one other thing. Looks like you couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Oh boy, stop it with a scary face already.
I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face.
The way she talks about slapping him as she laughs, it's kinda creepy.
But it's just as Mr. Bad said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around and people in the gallery claim that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh?
That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life.
Here we go again! Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good.
You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress, would we?
Thank you for the advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see. Incidentally, my way is the Von Karma way.
Look at you with your game face on, ready to go.
I'm making no such face.
Did you know? Laughter is the best medicine, Edgeworth. Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time?
I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of the world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter.
There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I've got to get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up.
I thought that was going to set her off on a rampage laughing.
The KG-8 incident and this murder investigation. And it's my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus that Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying even though the lie is hurting his chances. Clearly this case is far from over. And whether or not that detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honorable name or my name isn't Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah, I have no need to laughter, so... Got my serious face on.